Every little thing that could go wrong seemed to go wrong for me, you know, and it was just getting harder and harder. And then, as I say, when Joe got his chances, he punished me to put the pressure on even more.
It's not to be for Marco this year, and hopefully, with his health and his eye problems, he'll be back again next year.
I don't think he's beat me many times. Obviously, the two biggest ones are now here.
It's been a bad day, bad couple of days for Luca.
Jack played really well. He just kept getting in front, and I just couldn't peg him back.
Long in the days gone where it was just a shock if you lost first round. That's just the way snooker is changing.
Good afternoon, welcome to the home of World Snooker. It's been a tough old week for the top 16 at the 2018 Betfred World Snooker Championship. We've lost 6 of them. One of them, the defending champion Mark Selby. He was dumped out by Joe Perry, and Joe gets the second round underway this afternoon against the Masters champion Mark Allen.
It was a horrible draw. Toughest player out there. He's number one, he's won the world title, he's basically becoming king of the crucible.
The jester from Leicester, Mark Selby.
I never watch myself on TV, so this will be a first.
He is the gentleman, he is Joe Perry.
Nothing comes close to walking out down the stairs at the crucible. I think we could have shared maybe the first 2 frames or even lost both of them, but managed to pinch them, which sort of really helped us settle down early. I think that was the frame before the interval. Would have been a bit of a disappointing one for me to lose, actually, the way the frame had gone, but Mark let me off. Yeah, I don't know if that was the pressure I was putting on him, but it was quite warming. It was quite a satisfying session for me, really, you know, beyond anything I could have expected. 7-2. I think it was a good thing for me that we come back on that night. I didn't have like overnight to think about anything. I got off to the best possible start at night time, won the first frame, which made my lead even more comfortable. This was a great shot from Mark. That was the sort of mini turning point, really. I was sort of in control, looked like going 9-2, and he played that great red and cleared up. And then I started to miss a couple. Lost it a little bit there. The old poker face changed, and yeah, the smiles turned into grimaces. And I made a good break, and that was pretty much the killer, really. 9-4. This is the last frame. Got a little bit lucky to land on the pink, and then made a 1-visit break, which is always a nice way to win a match. Well, that's the best feeling you ever get, you know, as a super out of Crucible. Yeah, delighted. I know on my day I'm good enough to beat anyone, and I've proved that because I've beaten everyone. And I've also lost to everyone. I've lost to people that perhaps I shouldn't have lost to, so there's a definite level of inconsistency there for me, but I know that on my day I'm more than a match for anybody. I'm really looking forward to taking on Mark. I like his style of play, I like his attitude, he's very fair, you know, he plays the game in good spirit, and I'm really looking forward to it. It gets tougher year on year, the standard goes up and up every year. I get a little bit older every year, so yeah, I've just got to keep playing, and then I don't get in front of myself. I'm capable of winning my next match, and that's the attitude I'll always have at any tournament.
So when the draw came out, no doubt about it, we went, ooh, that's a stinker for both players. But Joe Perry played really well against Mark Selby there.
Joe Perry's got lots of experience. He's a former top 16 player. He's beaten everybody in the game, and he's the one player that nobody really wanted to get in the draw. Fantastic win against Mark Selby. Mark Selby was coming into form. He just won the China Open. Everybody's expecting him to go and win the World Championship again. You know, really, really tough match.
Now, we've seen 5 world champions go out. Lots of seeds go out. What is happening? Why is that occurring?
I think, to be perfectly honest, John, it's got a lot to do with the qualifying matches now at the English Institute of Sport. The qualifiers have had to win 3 best of 19s, 3 gruelling best of 19s. And you'd have to think that the players that could do well that come through the qualifiers perhaps are the ones that come through the qualifying comfortably, but it's very, very difficult to do. Conditions were tough at the English Institute of Sport. These pockets are playing a little bit bigger here with the new cloth, new set of balls. Middles are playing very nippy though, so it's all set up for an intriguing match.
Well, you can say we had a tough draw first round. He certainly got one in the second round as well with Mark Allen, who's a Masters champion, and what a difference that can make to a player's psyche being a major champion.
Yeah, I spoke to Mark Allen a little while ago, and I think he was struggling to get himself up a bit. You know, again, after winning the Masters, it's a tremendous achievement in your career. It's a little bit like winning the World Championship for the first time. You know, you can almost go into a little bit of depression, to be perfectly honest, because it's everything that you wanted to achieve, and it's about getting yourself up again. This is the biggest venue. This is the most important tournament of all. Mark Allen certainly is good enough to be a world champion. Can he get himself up for this match? It's a real test for him.
It certainly is, and Perry versus Allen is only part of our menu this afternoon. Here's the rest of what's coming up.
So coming up this afternoon, the world number 22 has had to qualify for this year's championship, and Joe is full of confidence after beating Mark Selby. As for Mark Allen, hasn't reached a quarter-final here at the Crucible since 2011. Is this his year? Anthony McGill, 6-3 down against Ryan Day, will keep you across that first-round match. Day, playing ever so well, has the highest break of the tournament so far, 145. And Joe Perry has been a busy boy. He's also been filming our latest pop quiz. We shall see that a little later this afternoon. But this is very much what it is all about. Mark Allen practicing late into the evening yesterday. He certainly wants to lift this wonderful trophy here at the Crucible Theatre. Before the players come out, let's just take a look at how these two are matching up. It is 4 apiece in the career head-to-head matches, but Perry won the last meeting 6-4 in the 4th round of the 2017 UK Championship. So we're all set for a cracking afternoon of live snooker here on BBC Two. Let's say good afternoon to our MC, Rob Walker.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We started with 32 on Saturday. Now only 18 remain in the hunt to be this year's Betfred World Snooker Champion. Today is the day we finally finish the first round as the battle for the quarterfinals begins in earnest here at the sport's spiritual home in Sheffield. Please welcome a Welshman returning for his 13th Crucible campaign, 3 times a quarter-finalist, bidding for his 6th appearance in the second round. Winner of 3 titles this season, his best campaign on tour so far, superb form. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the pride of Pontycummer. He's Ryan Dynamite Day. And his opponents, returning for his 4th year at the Crucible, winner of the 2016 Indian Open, runner-up in that one this season. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a player who loves performing on the big stage. He's been to the quarterfinals before, and he will be seriously fired up for this one. The pride of Scotland, Anthony McGill. On table 1, here comes the very first player to book his place in the second round when he knocked out defending champion Mark Selby on the opening day. It was one of the most significant wins of his career in recent years. Semi-finalist here a decade ago, winner of the Players' Championship in 2015. From Cambridge, here comes the gentleman, here comes Joe Perry. And finally, one of the most exciting break builders in the modern game. Crucible semi-finalist 9 years ago, this is his 9th appearance in the second round. 3 times a ranking event winner, and of course, that huge and emotional victory at the Masters in January, his first Triple Crown triumph. He is the pride of Northern Ireland. He is Mark the Pistol Allen.
One more and more, people just want more and more freedom and love. What is looking for? One more and more, people just want more and more freedom and love. What is looking for? Free from desire.
Wonderful reception for all 4 players. If you want Anthony McGill against Ryan Day in the company of John Virgo and Stephen Hendry, that's available on your Red Button BBC Sport website and BBC Sport app. But live here on BBC Two, it is Mark Allen against Joe Perry. Commentary from Dennis Taylor and Steve Davis. Good afternoon.
Very good afternoon, Jason. Good afternoon, everyone. And
thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The first frame, Joe Perry to break.
Welcome to the second round. And Joe Perry won the toss, and he will get it underway. Tough to pick a winner of this one. The bookies make Mark Allen a slight favourite. But Joe Perry, having knocked out the defending champion Mark Selby, is in fine form. But 2 terrific players on show here on this table this afternoon. Should be a cracker, Steve.
Yes, certainly could be a hard-fought match, and by that I don't mean a grueling war of attrition. More likely a slugfest. Really tough to pick a winner. Could make a case for both these players.
Just wondering if there's a possible 3-ball plant with a safety shot in mind. He did look at it, but maybe it's not on. Just in the middle of the bunch there. But that's a nice pot he's picked out. And if he's got an angle on the green, he can automatically take the cue ball up to the reds. That's a nice way to start your opening frame. Played that as a shot to nothing, and catching the jaw of the middle pocket, finished up helping things there. So if he can get nicely on the blue off this red, and there's 3 or 4 other loose reds available, so it could turn into an early chance.
Yeah, this is a tough shot so early on. Never in doubt.
5.
Made that look a lot easier than it was. He does seem to be in stroke, Joe Perry, doesn't he? He's very relaxed and calm in his first round match. Obviously that first session of at the Crucible can be a nerve jangler. He looked very much in control.
Well, look at that in the first round. Pot success rate, both players on 92%. And not a lot of difference in the long pot success department. Oh, just put it on that left jaw, but look where the cue ball's finished up. That was because he didn't pot the blue.
had to risk a red going over the right corner, and Joe's got a path through to it, although not guaranteed to be on a colour, one of the top colours anyway. Pink goes into the left corner, as does the blue, but there's many reds in the way. Not too many areas that are safe from a cover-up. Probably getting out into open plays best, onto the pink. Depends how he feels.
One.
That's turned out quite nice, that little flick. It's left him on the pink.
Yeah, we'll assume he played that. I mean, if he'd have got a full ball kiss on that red, he would have been on the blue, which would have opened things up, but lots of opportunities now. Didn't hit that one great. The arm went a bit funny there, but got the pot. Perhaps didn't get the correct cannon on the red. Bit of arm movement we don't usually see there. Early tension. So that's messed the position up a little bit, but fortunately the pink doesn't go on its spot, so.
Eight.
It's got a lovely relaxed cue action. Joe Perry pulls the cue back for the last delivery with lots of intent and control. A nice pause and then a solid hit through the ball. If you're a club player and you're looking to improve your game, slow your final backswing down. Don't rush that final backswing.
13.
Take a leaf out of Joe Perry's book.
Just the wrong side of the blue. This means he's going to have a medium range pot just run through. And these are, well, they're little testers. They're also shots if you play them nicely. Confidence boosters. If he's straight, it'll be a stun run through, which is one of my favorite shots. Just love that shot, you know, you hit the ball with plenty of pace and the white doesn't move much. Takes a lot of years of practice to perfect that shot. Just hitting it just below center, the cue ball, and it looks so easy but very difficult to accomplish.
Looks like he's got a problem here.
What sort of angle has he got? Any sort of angle. He can get out onto the black, and he has, as you can see. And
27.
We had new cushions put on the other day, and now we've got a new bed on the table. This is a brand new cloth that's on, so it'll be playing slightly different. In fact, I noticed a couple of days ago when the black was being respotted, it was falling into a little bit of a hole, little indentation with the black. You know, you keep respotting it there. There's no spots on these tables like you would have on a club table. The spots there to protect it also.
35.
Just the start that Joe Perry was after already. 40 points in front.
Yeah, I think you get an indentation, even though the referee obviously doesn't bang the ball down on the spot. You get the indentation
42.
because the black will be skidding off the spot every time it's hit. So it wipes a bit of cloth away. This is very impressive from Joe Perry. He looks to have picked up where he left off in the last round.
43.
That's always nice to do.
And if he gets the cannon right on the reds here, it will be a frame winner, you'd have to say. Yeah, I think he's okay. He can get through to the potting angle. And every chance he can start with a possible century break.
Fifth.
But oh, is he not on that red? There's the split, and I think he has covered the red that I thought he was on.
He just caught that red a fraction too thin to guarantee a good split, but still a bit unlucky.
Yeah, end of break.
In playing that, you could have also expected a red to have presented itself into the right middle. So a lifeline for Mark Allen. All the colours out in the open, and currently all the reds out in the open, so it's a dangerous setup for Joe Perry.
Well, what was that, Joe?
Foul. Joe Perry 50.
He was concentrating
Mark
so
Allen,
much
6.
on where he wanted to put the cue ball. He planted the pink in the pocket. That was very careless. I think he was trying to knock the pink safe and just misjudged it. And as Steve mentioned, we show you it again. It seemed a natural there.
Yeah, it looked like he should have had a look at it. The 6 points doesn't necessarily make too much difference. Hasn't got the cue ball safe though. Tough speculative one from Mark Allen that perhaps later in the match he'd have got closer to, but as yet he hasn't got his arm going out there.
One.
Well, perfectly played, so, and an angle on the blue, so should really now clinch this opening frame.
Six. Seven.
He's a lovely player to watch, Joe Perry. I just like his mannerisms and the way he moves around the table. Stance so compact, you know, it's just, you can't see any faults in his game and cue action.
30.
Yeah.
40.
Surprisingly for his talent, he's only won one major, one larger ranking event. He'd dearly love to win one of the majors, one of the big BBC ones. He's got a great game.
90.
You'd think it's unlikely that later in his years this would happen, but perhaps he's been given hope
20.
by the likes of John Higgins, Mark Williams, and of course Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Six. 27.
Doesn't really matter
and
about the black. I thought Mark would come to the table to get a little bit of potting practice, decided not. So Joe Perry, with the aid of that 50 break, takes the opening frame and leads 1-0. Yeah, Mark Allen hasn't had a shot at an easy putt after Joe played a very bizarre safety shot when he planted the pink into the corner pocket. I don't know, it really bamboozled him here. When if you see Joe's reaction after he plays the shot, he's just concentrating on the cue ball and knocks the pink in. Look at his face. He can't believe he's done that.
Didn't look like it was going to go far away from that area. Mark Allen had a tough opening red. He had to play this fully committed to get on the black. Misjudged it. Quite a way out, but you know, early days really. Best of 25, there's a long way to go, but I was a bit surprised that Mark Allen didn't just come to the table to knock a few balls in just to get his arm going. Obviously the players would have gone on the practice table, but it's different out there.
Yeah, and it's a new cloth, as I mentioned, that's been put on, so it wouldn't have done Mark any harm whatsoever there. But anyway, he's forgotten about that opening frame.
Frame 2. Mark Allen to break.
Eight frames to be played in this opening session. We're now down to where most players feel the World Championship really starts, when you've got best of 25 and 3 sessions to go at. I think if the top players are vulnerable, Steve, it's usually in the opening round, isn't it?
Yeah. I think there's an element of panic that's always surrounding the first round of the World Championship, especially for some of the top seeds. Once they get that out of the way, they can play their own game, they feel. That was a great effort. Clever shot to nothing. Pots it, he's on the blue. Misses it. Only that red he can leave. Huge slice of luck there from Joe Perry's perspective. It wasn't unlucky to catch the bump of the middle pocket. That bump's always there. You don't want to go anywhere near it.
Yeah, of course.
Black looks currently tied up, but nothing to say that a few safety shots later it won't have opened out. Yeah, the World Championship, Dennis, is the only tournament where you have, certainly from the second round onwards, you have finishes to 2 sessions where you have to then sit on a situation, whether a lead or behind, and have to regroup mentally. It's an unusual situation, as most of the season's not like that. Big misjudgment there from Joe Perry. I'm not sure if he was trying to play it onto the one on the black cushion, but he's given Mark Allen enough of a chance here with choices of reds.
Well, he hasn't settled yet, Mark. He didn't miss many of those against Liam Highfield. He won that match 10-5, but it was a lot closer than the scoreline suggested. Liam played very well against Mark. Oh, he's on the pink. He played to get on the blue there with a little trace aside, and just, as you can see here, he just caught the other red slightly and then the pink and put it on. Nice run of the ball there. Is the pink going to be tied up when it goes back on its spot?
Seven.
Yeah, it might be tied up, and the black's awkward now on the cushion.
Well, it's catching.
Joel Perry, 7.
I do think that Mark Allen should have tried to pot the last red and colours in the first frame. I bet he wouldn't have missed that red that he's just missed then. Still, Joe Perry fails to capitalise.
One. Six. Seven.
Well, he's developed the black, but it's a difficult one along the cushion. As I say, it's a new cloth, so this should slip in off the jaw, you would think, but you still got to be precise. Yeah, he's played that well. That should slip in. Yeah, well done.
See, as the black then died out of pace, it hugged a little bit towards the end. That's a natural thing to do with the nap of the cloth pointing always towards the top end of the table. Pushes the ball slightly up the table. Ever so slightly.
50.
Nice chance to disturb some reds now, with that red on the left of the table. Guaranteed position. Mark Allen, Dennis, will be delighted to have got back to the table so quickly after that glaring miss earlier.
Yes, Joe Perry let him off the hook, didn't he? And this is where you want to be, in and around the black spot area. Still a couple more reds available after this one. The one at the back of the bunch is sitting in a nice position, so he doesn't have to think about playing a cannon just yet. He's left himself a funny little angle here, but he's got plenty of cue power, as Mark. Just watch this. Powers it in and left himself on this red, which in turn will open the other reds up, but it's important that he gets the next shot right. And he played it well, played it very well.
39. $46. $47.
Only just got enough follow through on that one for it to be comfortable.
I think we're going to see a lot of breaks, 50 and over.
54.
Joe started off with a 50 break in the opening frame, and with the way these two players play the game, I can see there being a barrage of breaks over 50. Players winning frames with one visit.
$55.
He's okay, even if he's straight on the blue. He can just bring it back to where the white is now and leave this straight red for the left corner. But he might have a slight angle. Yeah, he has, which is better. Well, better as long as you don't hit it too hard.
Must be a plant on.
Well, it has to be, otherwise he wouldn't have left
60.
the white there. Yep, there you see it. And now you don't.
61.
That was a little bit loose. Not getting the correct side of the blue, but probably no damage done. Big margin of error to come up the table, although he only just missed the yellow.
66.
Yeah, Dennis, I think probably more century breaks made, more 50 breaks made these days than ever before. But even though this match is best of 25 frames, still important for Joe Perry to have perhaps kept Mark Allen off the table. All of a sudden, Mark Allen's got the freedom of cueing now that he didn't have at the start of this frame.
73. $79. 8. $87. 88.
He's got to move that difficult red if he's going to get the century break. He's got an angle on the pink to do it. Oh, he's unlucky. He's very unlucky. That looked like it was going to be a certain century, but he's going to try a trick shot here.
Mark Allen.
A bit disappointing not to get the century, but he did what he had to do. That was a marvellous break of 94. And Mark Allen is all square with Joe Perry. It's one each.
Oh, such a shame for Mark Allen. That looked pretty set fair there, John.
Well, he won't be too dismayed by not making the century, but he played a shot in that at the start of the break, Jason, which is just fantastic. This is really difficult. You know full well you're going to be leaving the chance for your opponent, and he just drops it dead weight, and that was absolutely a lovely shot. Under the cosh, that was really good.
Yeah, how do you think the tables are playing, Peter, so far?
I think it's made a big difference with the recloth. You can see that the players are getting more spin, and the pockets will just be playing a fraction bigger as well because of that.
Let's just ask you what it's like, John, when you go through the first round and you get into the second round, And Mark Allen, of course, won the Masters this year. What's the feeling like in the mindset when you're stepping out? How different is it to the first round?
Massively different. I mean, you've seen with a lot of the seeds going out, a lot of champions going out, that there's a real twitch up in the first round just to get over it and relax. And then you should be able to go in and play your game in the second round. What you do want, though, is, as ever, is a good start. And it's very important for Mark Allen there. If Joe Perry goes 2-0 up on him with a chance to go 3-0, all of a sudden, even in the first session, the game can start to run away from you. So, yes, you're relaxed. You want to be involved in the tournament. But this first session is very important that you get a lead or at least don't go behind.
Pete, did you feel it when you're standing there backstage about to come out for the second round? Is it a big difference?
I think there is, but, talking about the first round, I think there was a time, John, when the top players could maybe come here 70, 80%. Now they've got to be 100% because the standard of the qualifiers coming through now is just fantastic.
OK, one apiece, back we go.
Joe Perry, qualifier this year. This is his 5th game in the World Championship. And actually, Dennis, one of the bloggers, online bloggers, made the point that, funnily enough, 3 or 4 years ago, I think it may have been, perhaps when a lot of the qualifiers got beat, was saying that the qualifying section was burning the players out and they were mentally drained by the time they came here. And all of a sudden, now it's sort of turned around to it, you being sharp. You could make the case both ways, I suppose.
Well, I think the players are quite fit these days, and listen, they practice 7 and 8 hours a day. Okay, it's slightly different, but you don't mind getting that match practice, do you?
Fascinating to hear what I think is a quote from Neil Robertson saying that he'd prefer to be, perhaps he didn't say it like that, prefer to be a qualifier. Perhaps it just came out like that.
Yeah, I think I'd rather be here than having to win 3 matches to get here. Nowhere back down the table that time for Joe Perry, so just sent the red up the other end.
Getting this dangerous red out of the way and playing safe at the same time. Bit short of pace. Possibly got a speculative shot into the left corner. Was a shot to nothing, or right corner with an element of safety. Hit it pretty well, but not well enough.
Yeah, it was a bit of a free shot for Joe there. The only red he could leave was the one he was attempting. But does this cut in? Having said that, it certainly does. Oh, thought he'd got that. In fact, he was so close to it, it stayed right over the pocket.
I always feel a bit grieved when that happens. You've made a good effort and keep red sticks there. And we didn't hit that
one
absolutely as intended, and hence the cue ball a bit too close to the cushion for comfort. This is a tough shot.
Well, he's a little bit unlucky to hit that red like that, although having said that, he might have a long straight red to go at.
8.
But good cueing from almost tight on the cushion to pot the black at that pace. Just away from the cushion a little bit, but still fairly awkward. But this could pay dividends. Is it there? It is.
No.
It's not an ideal pack to go into.
60.
Looks to have just enough angle that he can work the cue ball into the 2 reds to the side. Whether he can get enough power to get that cue ball out. He's not the best power player in the game.
24.
Yeah, you see a lot of the players, particularly Judd Trump, Ronnie O'Sullivan, when they play that shot, the white stops and then spins again.
He was just a little bit thick on the black to be able to do damage with the pack. Great recovery though.
25.
He deserves that round of applause because into the middle pockets at that pace was very good. And both players look to be cueing really well.
32.
Very little missed so far.
Still not an easy bunch of reds for Joe Perry. He may be forced to go up the table for the blue. Funnily enough, an ideal ball to go into the pack would be off the green, but it's not really probably anywhere near his mind. He can leave himself an angle on the black. That's what he's looking at now. Always nice to go into the pack off the black directly rather than off the top cushion. You've really got to put some effort in to get the cue ball into the reds. So decision to be made for Joe. Which ball does he use to try and open the reds?
$33.
This is one of those shots where you've got to keep your eye on the black ball and make sure you get the pot, let the white just go into the reds. I think he's unlucky. I don't think he's dropped on a red.
Yeah, the trouble with that shot,
40.
You sort of resist hitting it too hard, blasting the black in. You might miss the black, so you take your foot off the gas a bit, but then of course what happens when the cue ball hits the pack of reds, you don't get so much movement.
He's got an easy safety shot off the red near the cushion, but he wants to leave that there to protect his 40-point advantage. And that red that I mentioned, the left side of the tables, is a bit awkward if you play down that side off the reds.
He's left a tempter for Joe into the middle. He'll have known he'd be leaving that on.
It looked as if it was in. It was just the pace that kept that out.
Yeah, well, Peter Ebdon earlier in today's programme mentioned that whilst the corner pockets can at sometimes seem generous on new cloth, these middles are very tight, very unforgiving.
One.
Would have preferred the cue ball a little bit further off the cushion. Can't really do a lot with the blue now. Jacking up in the air makes the blue missable. Big brown to take on. This is tough. Well played. Really good shot. That was so much harder to take on than the blue, He just knew he needed to keep position.
Six.
And no need to play a cannon. There's a couple of reds in the middle of that bunch of reds that are available into the left corner pocket. Just a nice little stun shot down to leave those reds.
11.
I know this is a tough clearance from here, but I get the feeling that if Joe Perry shows any weakness in this match, Mark Allen's going to pounce on him. It's not the greatest of positions, but he'll settle for it.
90.
He's got to get pretty high up here to pot this. Bit of a positional mistake already. That's excellent. Couldn't ask for any better, really. Not only can he pot the pink, he can spread the reds everywhere.
Yeah, that red's come off the cushion and he can get through to the potting angle. For a moment there I thought he's run out of position, but he's perfect. 26. And these are the sort of... Oh, I'm saying he's perfect, he's not. I thought he'd have to play that with a bit of side. You see him having to swerve around it. Played it well. Played it very well.
27.
He could have played that pink a bit harder, spread the reds a bit more, but great recovery.
Yeah, I was just thinking, Steve, you know, when your opponent makes a 40 break and he's in with a chance of making a substantial break, it's nice if you can come back and win the frame.
Yeah, it hurts your opponent, doesn't it? So, Mark Allen just checking to see if this red pots so that he doesn't have to go into the 4 reds off the black.
35.
Don't think he got the best contact on the cue ball there. Red. White ball didn't exactly trundle through as he wanted. He wanted to be a bit lower on the black. It's quite a critical angle he's got to find, especially for a left-hander. He could just screw back for the right into the green pocket, but far harder pot. Don't think he can. Can he reach? No, he needs the rest. So this is the key shot here coming up.
Played it nicely. You're never sure exactly where the cue ball is going to finish, but it's not bad. Oh, he's missed it. Oh, just the pace took it in. We said new cloths on the tables, and that one didn't look as if it was going to drop, and it just slipped in off the angle.
He'll have probably knew it was going to go in from his side of the pocket. Obviously, from our side of the pocket, you can't see the fall of the slate so easily. And from looking pretty wobbly at the start of this session, all of a sudden he looks like a lump of granite.
56.
He's obviously not over the line yet, but looks to be in control. And as I say that, he comes up
57.
a bit short on the black. That was a misjudgment of pace. Just now got to come off the left-hand side cushion. Good effort.
Well, we've seen him knock a black along the cushion.
64.
And he's got the angle to drop the red in again.
65.
And now just needs the black to pinch the frame.
It does make a massive difference in a player's confidence, knowing that the cloth is more or less
72.
brand new. They do slide in easier. And even after 3 or 4
74.
days play, the pockets start to tighten up.
Made a
77.
94 break in the previous frame. There's no century on here. He can get to 99. But this is sending a message out to Joe
81.
Perry that he can't miss many, because Mark Allen looks to be
86.
hitting the ball as good as I've ever seen him. Full of confidence, having won
92.
the Masters title back in January. So you make a mistake, and this player from County Antrim's going to clear up. That's breaks of 94, and then that break of 99. He now leads Joe Perry by 2 frames to 1.
Well, Dennis is absolutely right, because if you were with us at Alexandra Palace in January, that's exactly, John, what Mark Allen did in winning the Masters.
Yeah, he was magnificent in that. And then, of course, near the end of it with Kyron Wilson, he had to dig in as well. But at least he's a fantastic scorer, as Mark Allen. And it was interesting. The first frame, Joe Perry was very good. It looked like he could have gone the other way in frame 2 and be 2-0 behind. And all of a sudden, he's just gone up the gears and he's changed it round with 2 90-plus breaks. And he's a very heavy scorer. This is a real high-quality match so far.
He's hard to beat, isn't he, Mark, when he's in this sort of frame of mind and this positive attitude, Peter?
He's got great touch in amongst the balls. He scores very heavily, and he gets so much spin because he's very wristy, isn't he, with his action? You think of like Jimmy White, Joe Swale, and it's almost like the golfer using the wrist, that extra power that they get. He's got a fascinating technique. You'd say, in actual fact, it's very amateurish because he's very short and very quick getting through the ball. But he's such a great player, such a great player.
You and I, John, have spoken many, many years about the players who put in a huge amount of practice. Very significant last night. We were in the practice room with our highlights show, and Mark was in there until about 11:15 yesterday evening.
That's what you've got to be doing. You've got to put the hours in. Maybe the other thing as well, sometimes you just need to go over an hour. You might just be sitting there in your hotel room or something and say, you know, there was a shot I didn't like or I didn't play it particularly well, and you must say, right, I'll just go round and have a little hour. It's great. I mean, I had a snooker table at home for years, and sometimes you just want to go in there for little hours. I didn't spend all the time at home practicing there because it wasn't really like a job, but you'd go in there and say, oh, a little half an hour or an hour or something, and probably Mark Allen felt the same way last night.
But Peter, just shows the determination. Maybe that's what Mark is feeling at the moment, having won the Masters. He's coming to the Crucible thinking, I can lift this trophy.
In many ways, with the confidence that he would have got, obviously, through being Masters champion, this is perhaps his best chance ever to become world champion. He's certainly good enough. It's been interesting for me, the new cloth, the players are getting a lot more spin, and the pockets are playing fractionally bigger, so that will help the players.
OK, thank you very much indeed. Back we go.
Well, always better to miss them altogether on the first attempt rather than hit them too thick. He's got that little bit of chewing gum that our Coventry supporter gave Mark, as we showed you there. Nice blue shirt on again.
5. Six.
This is where he's so good in around the black spot, where he just has to play a little delicate stun and screw shots. He's really a master at this type of play here.
And this is where he's very compact, short, backswing, pays dividends. Very much at the top of the table, it's all about exact judgment of pace to keep perfect position, and that's what you can do with a short, sharp cue action. I do feel, Dennis, that that win in the Masters has really risen his stock as a snooker player through the roof, not just in our eyes, but also in his eyes. He looks so assured amongst the balls.
Yeah, he won 2 World Opens in China, but he always wanted to win one of the majors in the UK. And now that he's done that, yeah, he's brilliant to watch. Can't believe it's 2009 since he got to the semi-final here at the Crucible, and then followed that with 2 quarter-final appearances. But he's not interested in quarterfinals and semi-finals these days, Mark Allen. He's a winner and he wants to win some more.
46.
I know it's easy to say it, as he looks like he's going to convert this chance to go 3-1, but I think he's one of the favourites for this event.
Well, he was 33-1 at the start of the tournament, and I thought that were big odds for this player. But there again, a lot of people thought that he was going to have to come up against the defending champion, Mark Selby, but Joe Perry put an end to that.
I think that's where winning a major like the Masters gives a player so much belief that he wouldn't be worried about playing a Mark Selby or even a Ronnie O'Sullivan. He'd just play. It's a great frame of mind to be on, to be enjoying your snooker and enjoying playing match play.
6th.
Got bad contact there, or was it just under hit? He's not correctly on the red, on the black. Perhaps that cue ball didn't go through as much as he wanted.
Look at the cue power he's got there.
Bit unlucky.
Yeah, just needs one more red.
67.
And that's why it was important to get a good angle on the black, but that was a great effort to bring one of the reds into play that he needs to clinch the frame.
It's not totally unlucky. He was never going to have any power left in the cue ball by the time it arrived at the red, so it was always likely to stick on a red. He'd ideally love to get a colour safe. That's not easy, so do you try and put a red safe? Not too sure that that's really going to work. Joe could easily get that red out again, so might have to play quite a containing safety shot here.
He did something in his opening round against Leo Highfield, and the both players are smiling about it. He took a shot time, was 4 minutes and 50 seconds. I think that is a record.
Yeah, that was a weird one, wasn't it? A free ball situation. And it looks like he can cut the red into the middle pocket, but he doesn't like it. It's a very thin cut into the left middle. could somehow play that shot and keep the ball safe, he'd be playing it. So it is a very thin cut. So just safe to the top cushion, sacrificing the tactical advantage here.
Mark Allen, 67.
Yeah, fine break there, but not the best safety shot. If Joe can get this white in behind the yellow, or have the yellow as a snookering ball here. I didn't play it all that well.
Yeah, I'm not absolutely sure he could have got behind there. He would have been risking going very close to the middle pocket. Long range 2-ball plant. Mark Allen's just lined up. Or he's either lining up to make sure he doesn't play it for fear of leaving it over the pocket. Either way, he's got a good cue ball. I think he's very close to snookering Joe Perry here. Yeah, that chewing the gum. I mean, I think I remember being on the board of the World Snooker recently, discussing whether players could eat at the table, and there was a big discussion over what constituted food. Is chewing gum food?
I know what was food when I played you in your first World Championship way back. You had a plate of sandwiches out on the table.
An error from Joe Perry, but this isn't guaranteed. I mean, he could have played that red, screwed back to sort of the cushion as a sort of an element of safety. He only needed the red. This way was far more committal. Was it too negative to just pot that red screw back to a bad position on the cushion?
Not at all, Steve.
And also you get a bit more pace in the red. If it misses, it releases. That puts pressure on the shot the way he played it that he didn't need.
What a steal this could be. The only red that's safe is the one that's tight up against the pink.
8.
The rest are in perfect position.
9.
Well, this would do Joe Perry the world of good clearing up here.
16.
Well, what it would do would take him to the mid-session interval in a pretty good mood, that's for sure. Well, this could turn out okay, actually, if he pots this.
24.
He can afford to take. He's coming back for the black again. He hasn't that many points to play with here. Played that well.
There's the possibility that red does pot. It doesn't need to be shifted away from the pink.
That would be a bonus, wouldn't it?
I think if he gets high on
33.
the red further down the table as we look, it'll be pottable. No, it wasn't. Otherwise he'd have played it. My apologies, Joe. Giving you some false hope. Very unlucky.
Fault.
He's played it so well, he's caught the red too full. Any angle, it probably releases very nicely. Mini reprieve for Mark Allen there. So a good safety needed.
Fort.
Has he got it? I think it's just a bit shy of pace.
At the moment, Joe needs a red, and anything above the brown would do.
I was wondering whether Joe could have tried to have shifted that red away for the pink the shot before. Perhaps he didn't have the correct angle, but with another red on the table. Misjudgment there, colliding with the yellow. And has Mark Allen got a chance to get behind the black? Might not be on.
If this keeps running, it's going to be good. And it has. So if he gives 4 points away, he'd only be able to tie.
I don't think the swerve's that difficult. It's just trying to get the red safe. All this could get back behind the black. The side spin. If the red was tight to the cushion, Mark Allen would be tempted to just try and roll on it dead weight. But there's enough of a gap behind the red that if he did do that, he could push it towards the opposite middle.
Just try to put a bit of distance between the two balls. He's done all right, though. And settle for that.
Because obviously, when it gets to situations like this, players escaping from snookers, there's a huge amount of luck in how the balls end up. There always has been. Always will. You just sort of take it on the chin as a player, don't you, Dennis? You just accept it's going to happen. So often players get out of snookers and leave their opponent in more trouble. That's a good shot. May not get the snooker. If it flicks off the brown, well, it looks to have got it. So, once again, Joe trying to control the situation off the back cushion, but cannot guarantee how he collides with the red. Sometimes there's an instinct here, getting the pace of the shot right, and he's played. There you see a great shot. He was hoping on that angle and played for that pace.
Another snooker, but easy to escape from. At the moment, Joe 31 behind. He somehow needs this last red and the brown or above the brown to pinch the frame. He had a great chance when he played that cannon and the last red, and he's been battling away ever since. Well, that's left the red on. Steve said, getting out of snooker, you just got to hit it and hope that you get it safe most of the time. From a psychological point of view, it's a good frame for Mark Allen because he was in the driving seat with that break of 67. And Joe Perry was a bit unlucky when he cannoned the last red that was next to the pink. It was just a fraction out, otherwise he would have leveled it 2-all.
9.
Just under an hour for the 4 frames.
12. 16. 21.
Yeah, you play these long matches in little mini sessions, and that first 4 frames, Mark Allen will be delighted. He goes to that interval, leading Joe Perry by 3 frames to 1.
Yep, off they go. And how interesting that that pink was still running and Joe Perry was out of there, wasn't he? Probably needs to get in that dressing room, just have a think.
Well, it's not because he's playing poorly. He's just got someone who's playing really well. Mark Allen looks like he's really hitting it very, very nicely. Looks like he's going to score at every opportunity. Could have come down. It was all about the last red, wasn't it, in the frame? And Mark came off the side cushion hard and he got away with it. There's one little, you can't really know where they're going to finish.
Yeah.
But he'd be happy with the way he's hitting it. Mark Allen is very good.
And Allen deserves to be 3-1 up, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's timing the ball beautifully, and I know I've mentioned it a couple of times, but it's making a massive difference to the players, especially the way they're timing the ball with this new cloth that's gone on. See, the cue ball is just fizzing. It's almost like a ping-pong ball, the way it's reacting. They're getting lots and lots of spin. And it just makes the game a lot easier for the players. It's much nicer to play when you've got a brand new set of balls and a new cloth. You don't have to hit the ball as hard to get the spin.
Be tough for Joe to get back into this?
No, not at all. He's a top-class professional. He knows he's played plenty of sessions where he's been 3-1 behind. The main thing is, are you hitting it properly? Yeah. Yes. He just needs opportunities.
Yep. OK, thank you very much indeed. Right, whilst other TV programmes have their own quizzes, we have our very own pot quiz. We know you love it. And Joe Perry's been a very busy boy. As well as preparing for his round 2 match, he popped up to the Winter Garden to have a crack.
Yes, and today's victim is Joe Perry. Congratulations, Joe, getting through the second round. Not too much congratulations, because your mind will now be fully on the match with Mark Allen in the second round.
Yes, that's done now. It was a good win, but focus on the next one now.
You've been home. Have you been keeping an eye on the tournament? I'm sure you have.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on it. I watched, my mate Barry Hawkins the other day. It was a bit of a tough watch, but I sat through it. But yeah, I've been keeping an eye on it.
OK, this will be your first try at pop quiz.
Yep, first ever go.
Are you a bit nervous?
A little bit.
OK, great. I'll have to see that. OK, 5 questions. For everyone you get right, you get a ball off the table, red off the table. Then you put the cue ball, anybody on the table, put all the reds, finish off with the black ball. Your second round opponent in the World Championship has set the bar very high, 1 minute 4 seconds. Whereas Barry Hawkins, I think, will probably end up at the bottom there, 1 minute 49, so not something to beat. First question, here we go. Who did you play on your Crucible debut in 1999?
A certain Mr. Steve Davis.
I know. Score?
10-9.
10-9. Did you fluke a ball at any time?
I don't remember that one.
OK, fair enough. Right, fair enough. Correct, 1 point, correctly right. OK, which player have you met most times at the Crucible? It's a tough one.
Stephen Maguire.
Stephen Maguire, correct, 3 times. Well done. No, not well done condescendingly. Well done. OK, what's your highest ever Crucible break?
145.
145 in 2004. Correct. That's 3 out of 3 so far. Question 4. You reached the semi-finals here in 2008, losing to Ali Carter. Who were the other 2 semi-finalists?
Stephen Hendry and Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Correct again. 4 questions right.
I think he finished the session early, if I remember rightly.
Nobody likes a smart ass. OK, right. Question 5. Ray Reardon won the World Championship in 1974, the year you were born. But which city did the tournament take place in?
I don't know. Stoke.
Manchester.
Oh, that's close.
But congratulations. 4 questions right. You can take any 4 reds off the table.
OK. 1.
That's a popular one to take off, I feel.
2.
Why that one?
Because I'm right-handed.
OK, fair enough. Right-handed. Yeah, take all the left-handed ones out.
Maybe this one. How many's that? That's
3.
2. That's 2, isn't it?
That's 3.
Right.
Nice try.
There you go.
4. OK. Right. Cue ball anywhere you like, and your time starts when you strike the cue ball. And he's off. It's all about trying to keep that cue ball under control. Not too much pace on the cue ball. Less pace with your feet. So far as you'd expect, somebody who's into the second round cueing beautifully. Even time to chalk his cue. Is that trademark slowly? Just a little bit quick on that one, but he's got a nice red into the middle. Why am I commentating? Nice shot. Nearly broke into a run.
Nah.
No mistakes so far. This cue ball hasn't run around the table at all. Time-wise, I think you're doing OK. 45 seconds. You've got not that long to go now. You're going to be struggling a bit, but perhaps giving up on the chance of getting in front, but making sure he beats Barry Hawkins. One minute gone. You've got 1 second to pot 3 balls. This has still been an excellent opportunity. Excellent, fantastic. Well, he won't be happy with that. Barry Hawkins still has hope. Yes. Congratulations, Joe. What time do you feel? What time do you feel?
1 minute 15, maybe, something like that.
1 minute 27 seconds. Well done, Joe. Congratulations.
And, of course, thank you very much indeed to Joe Perry for being a good sport and taking part. Interesting that he's taking on Mark Allen, and Mark Allen's top of the chart, so I can't see that being beaten, can you?
No, I don't think so, but he told a little porky there, Jason, because he said to me, he said he was watching his mate Barry Hawkins at home the other night, fell asleep on the couch, then woke up and went, oh, thank goodness for that, it's finished. So I'm going to blow him up.
That was the match against Stuart Carrington as well. In fairness, though, I don't think he was the only one, because it was a pretty tough all match, wasn't it?
Well, I couldn't fall asleep. I was in the commentary box. I nearly did, though.
Brilliant. So, have you ever had a go at this pop quiz?
I have, yeah. I took 2 days, 12 hours, 4 minutes and 27 seconds.
And analysed every shot to the nth
degree. And is it
degree.
true, John, that we ran out of tape?
Honestly, well, it's possible.
Right, OK, there is one other first-round match taking place today. A brilliant performance from Ryan Day yesterday evening, taking on Anthony McGill. He was 6-3 in front, and Ryan currently has the highest break of the tournament so far, 145 he made yesterday evening. It was a joy to watch the Welshman playing very, very well. We're going to show you what happens in frame 10. We join it with Day at the table, and he's leading. Commentaries from John Virgo and Stephen Hendry.
That's hit very badly. That's so thick. And as I say, he's still got the problem, Anthony. The high-value colours that he'd like in the open are not available. That was a poor shot, that from Ryan. He'd be disappointed.
One.
Not the best guess.
Six.
Don't think he can hold for blue. I can hold for blue. So
7.
Play the cannon here. He's got choices here. Do you go into the red and black, or do you go into the, the 3 reds on the cushion? The red and black, if you flick to right-hand side of the red, as we look at it, he might bring more reds into play. Depends how hard he hits this. Let's put it at pace. That's unlucky. That's very unlucky. I think he actually did play to just catch that red thin that's next to the black.
12.
Yeah, it was a good effort, as you say, Stephen. A little unlucky, but the reds have now been opened up. He needs a good safety. Imperative that he either Well, he's looking at the red just left of the pink. He's got to cover that one because that's the potable one, so to speak.
Anthony McGill, 12th.
Good length with the cue ball. And looks as though he's covered the path to that potable red. Certainly has. So he's got to be careful here, Ryan. Last couple of safety shots have been very average. That's a better one though. But he has left this red on.
And I think in potting this red, it's a natural angle. The cue ball's going to get through the gap to be able to come back at the table. And he could play it positively, try and open the black up, but I think he'll just be making sure the pot. Bit that much too thick. Playing it with a tracer right hand side, he's pushed the cue ball into the object ball.
Yeah, not the start that Anthony was looking for. This red cuts. He played it well, needs to miss the green. Well, he just flicked the green. But even that's taken the cue ball a little bit closer to the cushion than he would like.
I'm surprised he's not looked at the black, but maybe thinks this is the easier pot. He's done pretty well.
Five.
And now
Six.
the frame at his mercy. This black to go 40 points in front with just 51 remaining. So another red and a black, and it'll be 2 snookers required for Anthony McGill. And as I say, not the start he was looking
13.
for. He needed to be quick out of the blocks here.
14.
Missed a simple green off the spot.
$21. $22. $29. 30.
So a pretty solid start for Ryan Day. Put a couple of nice long pots. Okay, he's not had the cue ball on an absolute string, but
37.
He's not been put under any pressure in this frame, really.
13.
He'll be very happy to win this first frame. Extends his lead.
Well, good pot on the green. It's solid material, but if you keep potting, it builds up your confidence.
46. $51.
Playing the cuts on the pink, but
Ryan Day,
it's not there, but the frame was over long before that. Anthony McGill needs to book his ideas up. He's now dropped 4 frames behind. 7-3, Ryan Day.
Yes, indeed. It's all going very well for the Welshmen. That match continues live on the red button if you want that live. It's also on the BBC Sport website and BBC Sport app. And we'll keep you up to date with that throughout our afternoon here as we concentrate on the second round. Mark Allen taking on Joe Perry. Of course, Allen leads 3-1. Something about Ryan Day this season?
Yeah, it's confidence, isn't it? He's always been a good player. Probably known as a bit of a journeyman, if we're being honest, and all of a sudden he wins that first tournament. It's made such a difference to him. He's ended up winning 3 now, and you know, he's obviously got that confidence. He's always been a scorer, but that added confidence to know that he can beat the best and win tournaments and lift trophies in the air, massive difference to him.
And also, Peter, key thing, in the rhythm as well. We were watching this match yesterday evening. Break of 141 and then 145.
As John says, he's always been a very, very heavy scorer. I've always thought that he gets so much spin that he would actually be better off going up in tip size, but he's playing so well. He's had his best ever season. He actually was very unfortunate. He was having some work done on his cue earlier in the season, and the guy snapped his cue in the lathe while he was doing some work, you know, on his cue. So he's got a new cue, he's loving it, and he's not missing much, as I can testify to. He beat me in the qualifiers. I've done my best to tune him up.
I was just about to say he's beat me too. I say it does help when you come through and you have a nice easy qualifier, but I'm sorry, Pete.
I don't think Peter noticed that John and I were winking at each other as you were answering that question.
Yeah, thank you.
John and I were lining you up. Maybe he did spot it.
But apparently Ryan was very lucky. I'm being told that.
The ball run that he had against me was absolutely unbelievable. I spoke to my psychiatrist about it, and he told me I needed to improve on my safety game. So,
the other admirable thing, before we go back to this one, of course, John, is that Peter hasn't mentioned it.
Oh, not much.
Unbelievable.
OK.
Unbelievable.
Whilst we have a giggle in studio, let's get back to the serious business. Let's say welcome back to Dennis and Steve.
Very entertaining there in the studio from the boys as Joe Perry gets this first frame after the mid-session interval underway. He hasn't done much wrong, Steve, and he's 3-1 down.
No, it was always going to be a tough match. Yeah, spare a thought for 3 of our BBC commentators this week. Failed in the final hurdle at the qualifiers. Ken, Alan, Peter. That would have been great for all 3 of them to have qualified. And obviously, more work for you, Dennis.
Well, a good attempt, because look where he left the cue ball. He was on one of the ball colours, and the only red he could leave was the one he had to go at, and he wasn't too far away from it. Yeah, it's always nice listening to three-piece Pete, as I call him. Peter Ebden comes in the commentary box with a 3-piece suit. Best dressed commentator we've ever had. But I like the name Three-Piece Pete.
Well, he's let that red get away, but look at the cue ball. Mark Allen was playing the 4-cushion safety to try and use the green as one of the snookering balls, but lost control to some degree of it because he wasn't intending for the cue ball to escape that far up the table. So tough shot for Joe Perry, twice across the table into the left-hand side of the pack, just before the blue. Could be hitting the pink here.
Foul. Yes. Mark Allen, 6. One.
Did his best to develop the black, but it was never going to be easy.
Black ball.
This is all he can do here, just nestle onto it.
Mark Allen, 1.
That's a bit early days, but no player will be able to risk going down the table with that red over the right corner. Potential for a re-rack. Having said that, a touching ball would be a nice way to get down the table. Mark Allen may be tempted to try and play down into the yellow corner pocket. Doesn't want to go in off though. It's dangerously close. Has he got the pace? Wow. Joe Perry's got 2 options. Dump the cue ball onto the top rail, or try and somehow shift that red away, which is very risky. So the containing safety shot now. So, Dennis, does Mark Allen risk playing the same type of shot, try and put his opponent in trouble, or clear the red away from the pocket? There's your answer. There's a lot of balls covering that now, isn't there?
Yeah, he's got the blue and the reds to cover that.
Great strike. It was always going to be tough to get the cue ball out into open play, but it looks like he's got a chance, should he so wish, of the pink into the yellow pocket. Big pressure shot. And he could get through. Didn't think he had the gap there, but that's a big bonus.
7. Eight. $13. $40.
Didn't pop the red cleanly into the pocket. That's why he's not nicely on the blue. Just at the mid-session interval, and maybe just
Mark Allen,
took
14.
Mark's concentration away, as you can see. But you're used to it here, but sometimes just on your backstroke you notice things.
And in catching that brown a little bit thin, he got more speed on the cue ball than he would have otherwise, so that's why he's out of position. It's a type of shot Joe Perry could think in 2 ways. You know, I'm unlucky he hasn't left me a red, but you've got to be happy that the guy's missed the brown. He's back at the table.
This match will be played to a conclusion tomorrow. We'll have a morning and evening session. some of the second round matches are 3 sessions played over 3 days.
What did you used to prefer, Dennis?
I preferred the 2 sessions in one day rather than, waiting and playing over the 3 days. Just like to get on with it.
Yeah, I didn't mind the 3-day ones. It's tough getting ready for that morning session. The 10 o'clock one's the killer, isn't it? Depends what type of animal you are.
Well, I remember way back when we first came to the Crucible, 1977, the great John Spencer, 3 times a champion. If he was playing at 10 in the morning, he'd have been wandering around Sheffield at 7:30 to wake himself up.
I would say it's an advantage in the World Championship if you're the type of person that can have power naps in the afternoon for that morning session, and then the evening that could be a late one. This is a tough shot Joe Perry's taking on, but there's an element of shot to nothing. Good effort. Oh, a bit unlucky, really. It was the only ball he was going to leave on. I think he's left it on anyway. That's as close as you could get. Well, without potting it, obviously.
I don't think he can.
No, he may not be able to.
Yeah, he'd have to swerve that, wouldn't he?
And that's a bit of a late swerve. We saw him play a shot similar, but that was when the snookering ball was closer to the cue ball, so then the swerve had time to release, but it's nigh on impossible from that position. He could play it, but it's too risky. It's such a touch shot to play, sort of slow, soft, late swerve. If such a thing does exist. Making up shots. This is a brave shot. More or less guaranteeing that he's going to have to get behind the brown. It's a bit risky, really. What a great effort. Oh. That was asking for trouble, wasn't it? Must nose his way around the table there. Would have been so easy just to drop on the red over the corner.
We haven't had many tactical battles so far in this match. As he left it tempted to the middle pocket, the one to the right of the pink will go, and if he runs through and gets on the blue, the only red he could leave would be the one that he's having a go at, so definitely worth go at this one.
Excellent pot from Joe Perry. Well, it has to be said, a pretty poor safety from Mark Allen. That's a shot that Joe Perry shouldn't have been allowed to have played. And this would be a nice one for Joe Perry to win. Restore a bit of rhythm in his game.
6.
There's still a couple of reds available into the right corner pocket. Joe just weighing up the situation and deciding which one to play on.
I
think he can play for the black this time. This is a very important contribution from Joe Perry. A couple of frames behind. Okay, 8 frames to be played in this session. And you know, if you can get to 4 frames, that you won't be behind going into the second session.
Red to the right of the black is a bit of a problem ball. Stopped Joe from playing for the black. And he's a bit under pace with that pink, so I think the red to the right of the 3 is potable. Looks like that's the one he's played for. Makes things easier.
And of course, when he removes that red that you mentioned, Steve, it clears the other 2 reds just to the left of it. They will become available into the left corner pocket. So good one to get rid of this. Just got to be a little bit careful of that red that's near the cushion. He normally would stun the black in and leave those. Well, there's 3 reds available into the left corner, but the red's slightly in the way, so it's a change of plan. Might have to head up for the blue here. He could drop it in and leave the pink.
36.
Can't hold for the black from this position. He can score enough here to leave Mark needing a snooker before he gets to that
43.
Difficult red on the right side of the table. That's what he's looking for. 65.
44.
Yeah, he won't even need the red on the top cushion if he takes all the high colours. Looks to be
51.
Restoring his cue action. I assume Joe would have
52.
probably gone to the practice table in the interval. Not that he was cueing badly, just to keep knocking balls in. Depends how the player feels, really.
Well, he didn't get much chance, did he? Mark Allen had 94, 99, 67.
59.
So this is a good response from gentleman Joe Perry.
Sixth.
.46 the difference.
67.
43 remaining. This red to make absolutely certain and to keep Mark Allen in his seat. He's got a bit of an angle. Can he bring that difficult red into play? Needs to keep running if he's going to drop in behind it.
73.
Joe Perry's been involved in plenty of great crucible matches over the years. If he is an underdog in this match, it's only very slightly.
Doesn't matter about missing the red. He's
73.
done what he had to do. He's come out after the mid-session interval, and he's taken the frame, and he closes the gap. It's now 3-2 to Mark Allen.
Yeah, just a little nod from Mark Allen. But as you said, John, that was a crucial frame, wasn't it, for Joe?
Very, very much so after the interval. Great red in the middle pocket, Peter.
Yeah, Mark Allen had tried to play the snooker behind the black, just left the cue ball a couple of inches short, but what a fantastic pot that was. Absolutely brilliant. These middle pockets are playing very, very small, so to be able to play at that pace, I think, to be honest, the recloth has helped. Earlier in the week, seeing lots and lots of balls missed in the middle, but it was interesting. A couple of shots previous to that, Mark had played a fantastic safety shot behind the brown. Joe had got out of it just to play the little swerve shot. And then, unfortunately for Mark, he just missed out getting the snooker behind the black. But what a great opening red into the centre there. Fantastic.
Yeah, what have you made of the overall standard so far, John?
Very high. I think if you make a mistake, you can expect to sit in the chair for a while. Scoring is very good. I've seen a couple of sessions this week in matches where maybe scoring's not been so great, but not this one. This one's very good, and it looks like both players are really in fine form.
Yeah, we saw some big break building from Ryan Day yesterday evening too.
Is that the guy that beat me in the qualifiers?
Yeah, I didn't want to
Same
mention
guy,
it. Yeah. Didn't want to mention it. Okay, then let's get back out there, shall we?
Yeah, I think you'd expect the players, once they got over that panicky first round, to start to show the talent they've got. It's a nice, comfortable situation having a 3-session match.
Take your seats quickly, please. Thank you.
Really feels like the
Frame 6.
World Championship comes alive in this second round. So Mark Allen
Quietly, please.
breaks
Thank you.
off with a slender 1-frame advantage. Obviously, both players would like to have a lead at the end of these 8 frames, but you'd settle for 4-all.
Not the best safety shot there from Joe. Although this red's potable, very difficult to get onto the black from there. Went all out for it, trying to cannon the 2 reds and leave himself on the black. But that was, you can see, quite a tough shot. He was just trying to cannon both those reds and leave a comfortable black on. Early chance for Joe Perry now.
Oh, Joe decides to go through the gap
1.
instead of playing up for the blue. Judged it very nicely. Wasn't a lot of room for error there, but felt like it was the more guaranteed way to go about a big break. If he can get to the top rail, he could pot the red along into the left corner and shift that red closest to the black out of the way. That's one way of going about the break. Depends on the angle he's got on the black. This way doesn't look a problem at all, though. Pops this red. round the back of the black.
9. $16. 70.
Yeah, if you're not absolutely sure, get up off the shot and just go around, have a look, and then get back down again. He was almost down to play the shot, and he hadn't quite made his mind up.
$24.
Doesn't have to choose to go into the pack of reds from the blue. Depends on the angle he's got. He certainly doesn't want to be short
25.
on the blue. He's just about got the right side. 2 or 3 loose reds still available. One will be released if he pots one
30.
below the pack.
31.
Looking very smooth amongst the balls. Both players looking in excellent form at the top of the table.
I think he'll have to go into them this time, just looking at the angle. Where's the red going? Wow. Can you believe it? I mean, he potted the black, opened a few reds up, but to see a red drop in the right middle pocket, it's very unfortunate.
Yes, the second split has been unfortunate for Joe Perry.
One.
So can Mark Allen make him pay? Even though this game is considered gentlemanly, when your opponent gets a bit of bad luck, you want to stick the knife
7.
in. It hurts more.
$8.
Three-quarter ball, half ball contact on the red on the right would probably open the pack up quite nicely and leave himself a red into the left corner, but he doesn't have to go into them. He can play low and then pot this red and open the pack up. He's got to judge the pace right here.
15. $60.
Not perfect on the black here, but you know, being a left-hander, right side of the table, the red, just a little bit of a distraction for him there. Here's his bridge hand, but no problem. But this is one of the worst parts about the game of snooker. When
23.
you do what Joe just did, you pot the black, you're opening the reds up, and you see a red go in, and you've got to go back and sit down and watch your opponent pot the balls that you should have been potting.
He doesn't have to go into the pack of reds here. He's got a red by the pink spot goes in, but he may choose to. That's the more assured way, but at some stage he's got to open these reds up.
31.
It's not nice to leave it to the last shot because it can always go wrong and you haven't got any more balls to play on, but he should be able to leave himself an angle on the black. So we've seen Joe
32.
Perry play off the back cushion twice and get very unlucky. What will happen for Mark Allen? Well, that was a controlled break open. He knew which ball he was wanting to play
39.
to open those up, and he played it perfectly. Didn't blast at it. Temptation is sometimes to blast
40.
at it. Excellent control. Bit underpaced. I felt he got. Oh, sorry. For a minute, I thought he was underpaced. It's just somebody coughing.
Well, at least Mark can laugh about it.
Nothing you can do about coughing. I should know.
This is going to hurt Joe Perry, because he didn't do anything wrong, was just very unlucky. But Mark taking full advantage and back playing the way he was before the mid-session interval, breaks of 94, 99, 67. And just the black needed now
56.
to get a two-frame advantage again and be assured of not being behind overnight.
63.
Well, of the two players positionally, they've both been playing superbly well, but perhaps just
64.
favouring Mark Allen's position at the top of the table. But that's being ultra critical of Joe Perry. He's just been a bit unlucky going into the pack. From 4-2 in front, he can't be behind going into the second session tomorrow, but he could be. Sorry, he can't be behind going in. Yeah, could be well in front though.
73.
6-2 would seem very cruel from this position. It's a great try. So,
Mark Allen, 73. On the front.
Restores his two-frame advantage. 4-2 Mark Allen.
He really is, Peter, isn't he, Mark Allen? Just exuding that confidence that we saw in January, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a great player. He's timing the ball beautifully today. He's just scoring very, very heavily. But it must be said that Joe Perry was extremely unlucky earlier in the frame.
I mean, you can't really know that this is going to happen. He's going to play the black into the pack, and he ends up making a plant that knocks the red in the middle pocket. I mean, you can't legislate for that. And unfortunately, when that happens, you know that your opponent is playing so well, you just sit there with an inevitability in your chair thinking, is the frame gone? And that's exactly what he did.
And you've been around long enough to know that's sport, John, isn't it? And as the boy said in commentary, you just have to take advantage.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just nothing you can do about it. But you just knew. I mean, you're sitting there and you're thinking, when those things happen to you, you sit in the chair and you think, he's going to clear up here. And that's exactly what he's doing. But Mark Allen is playing so well and hitting it so good. But in fairness, so's Joe. Joe, when he's in amongst the balls, he looks good as well. It's a really high-quality match.
During that frame, Peter, you said something very interesting. You talked about Mark Allen being a floater. What did you mean by that?
Well, he's playing shots whereby the balls are now reaching the pocket at very little pace, similar to Mark Williams, where in previous years, previous seasons, Mark Allen had played a lot more stun shots, harder stun shots. He's developed a lot more finesse about his game, you know, a lot more touch in his
lighter
game.
technique?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
OK, back we go. Mark Allen leads Joe Perry 4-2.
Joe Perry makes a decent break off, although there is a tempter. Might not be guaranteed to get the cue ball safe here, but the pot is. Was guaranteed to get the cue ball safe. For a second, I thought that red would be coming into play, but nowhere near it. Not a commentator's eye there. The reds are opened up. One good yellow here and good position. Oh, he's held that very well. It's guaranteed position on this red, and then the black into the left corner, and he's up and running again. Let's see what he can make from here. devastating at the top of the table usually.
4.
It's early days in this frame, but Joe will be fearing the worst.
Eleven. 12.
It's amazing sometimes you can play a match and you never seem to get a chance in around the black spot area, and then other times
19.
every time you come to the table you're at the high scoring end.
20.
Now will he play a cannon into the bunch off the red? There's still 2 reds he can play for. Just playing for the loose one this time. I mean, he could go into the pink from the blue, which probably would be a better option than going in from the black the way the reds are situated. So let's see how he goes about this. Yeah, down for the blue and into the bunch now, and he's got that loose red as a little bit of insurance. So if he hits the pink full ball, he's guaranteed to be on one.
He's come a bit too far down the table for his liking, which means it can't control the cue ball as well. It's going to have a bit too much speed for his liking. Tough shot. He's played it well. Trouble is that cue ball's run away a little bit. This red's not as easy as it looks.
Mark Allen.
Didn't see that one coming there. He was perfect on the black as well. But the red he missed is quite difficult. Joe's just contemplating whether to take it on, but I think he's got an easy safety option. Is there a plant in the middle pocket? He's had a look at that, but it's not on. He's still looking at that red that's near the blue. But I think off this red and up behind one of the bulk colours is the shot, and that's what he's playing.
Yeah. I think there's some experience at the Crucible there. Yeah, he had a chance of potting the red into the yellow pocket or even cutting it into the middle, but in that situation, it was, if I miss, I'm giving my opponent so many green lights to go ahead and bash me over the head. Containing the situation, far better option in that shot. What? That's what he would have done. He would have bashed him over the head.
Well, he almost fluked that red, but it's gone safe, and the white's gone on the side cushion, so a nice run of the ball there for Mark.
Joe must be feeling as if things are going against him here. If the cue ball was, say, in line with the green, he'd have probably been able to have cut this red in, albeit thin. Certainly a full ball kiss on the blue would have been ideal for Joe. He's just got to keep his patience here. see where he's considering coming down the table behind the green. But there is the option of coming down into the green pocket area as a sort of guaranteed safety area.
Yeah, he's going to take this one on. He's worked a path back round the table for the cue ball. Or he thought he'd worked a nice path round the table. And what a chance for Joe Perry. He couldn't see an easy safety shot there, Mark, so he thought I might as well take the pot on, but it wasn't one of his best.
Joe just needs to make sure this first positional shot is correct.
One.
Looking at the table, it's going to be 4 or 5 pinks, you would think.
Seven. Eight.
You'd like to get this red away from the right corner as quick as possible.
Fourteen. Thank you. 50.
Could have been a bit closer to the pink, but shouldn't be too much of a problem.
21. 22. 28.
It just came a bit awkward on the pink, and now it's come a little bit awkward on the red.
He's played some very good positional shots here. All pinks, as I said. I thought there was 4 or 5 pinks available. This is his 5th pink coming up. Needs to pull up a little bit. Just a bit too
35.
much pace. Can he reach it? A bit of a stretch. Oops. Need to keep one foot on the floor, otherwise if you delivered the cue and your foot just lifted off the floor, it'd be a foul shot. That's a bit uncomfortable, I think, that.
It's a lot tougher with the rest of this shot. Well,
Joel Perry.
not only missed it, positional side was pretty poor as well.
Yeah, he looks a bit despondent. It was a shot before where he didn't get on the pink as he intended. He was going along very nicely with 5 reds, 5 pinks.
A tempter for Mark Allen into the middle pocket, but really can't take it on with that red over the yellow pocket. So side to side safety. That's a bit more meat on the bone in this frame. Looks like Joe's taking this on.
Yeah, brave shot, but not the cannon on the pink that he was after. He thought he'd pushed the pink towards the corner pocket, but he got the main part of the shot right.
Yeah, I think he was probably odds against pushing the pink towards the corner. It was more likely to go to the top cushion.
Where's the cue ball? Yeah, it's okay. It's going to pull up short of the pocket. And who's going to win this tactical battle now? Who's going to make the mistake to let his opponent in? That's very good.
Yeah, that's a great shot. So, first potential banana skin of a safety shot falls to Mark Allen, and he taps the table in appreciation of a great safety shot from Joe Perry. And Mark Allen's under a little bit of pressure with this. Yes, he can hit the red closest to the black thin, but there's a lot of danger.
That little tap on the table is just saying to your opponent, very good shot.
He's picked out another red. Still got danger involved with it. Or did he play that? Did he play that one off the back cushion thin and he's called it too thick? Great chance for Joe Perry now.
One.
It's just the, well, there's the couple of reds will go, one into one corner pocket and the other into the other corner pocket. But I'm not sure about that. Did he get a bit of a kick there?
Felt like it. Sounded like it.
8.
Took just a little bit of pace out of the cue ball. Enough that it made that red
Joel Perry.
missable,
8.
just enough that it was unnerving him.
Well, Joe's usually got a very good temperament, but have a look at this reaction. He's really annoyed with that, quite rightly so.
Maybe could have done with another ball roll there. Highly unlikely from this situation. Maybe able to get a half ball contact on the red and line the red and white up. That may be what he's going to play now. He's a bit wide on it though. Yeah, it's a great effort. He wasn't happy with that. Played it very well.
8.
So, red, pink, and then the red along the top cushion. Oh, I thought he'd be playing the pink.
No.
Okay, that's not a bad way if he gets right on the black, because then drop the red in. Easy pink. That's why Mark's in the top 16. I'm sitting in the commentary box.
He can play for the pink
60.
this time, though. This meant he didn't have much to do. So the only ball that's reasonably safe is the brown, and that's not all that safe.
Oh, pressure.
Mark. Nobody's seen that coming there.
17.
His only reprieve is possibly the fact the brown's not on its spot, but that was the first poor shot. I think he's played the whole match. A chance to go 5-2. Joe needs to pot these. He doesn't really want to be straight on this green. He's going to leave himself distance on the brown. It's not going to be ideal.
Oh, he's got a slight angle. He can get in behind the brown. And he's hit it a bit too well.
5.
Good bonus.
I'll tell you what, it would have been a big bonus had the white have pulled up.
Yeah.
And as we show you the shot again, it would have been straightforward to pot the brown and screw back for the blue. Now he's got to do it with the extension on the rest and the cue.
Ideally, he'd like to be this side of the blue, but he's got to risk hitting it a bit harder to do that. So does he just play to give himself an angle, or does he commit to going the correct side of the blue? Chose to guarantee to pot the brown and give himself an angle to go off the black cushion and back down the table for the pink. You expect him to get this.
Well, he's hit it a bit too hard. Okay,
14.
it's still on, but at the white it pulled up, it was unmissable. Just should be okay, but it's one of them tricky little ones. Safely in. And Joe Perry will be absolutely delighted. He was really annoyed with himself when he missed the red there. But Mark Allen then missed one, and Joe Perry's just one frame behind. 4-3 to Mark Allen.
Yeah, we saw Joe Perry, whose nickname is the Gentleman, not being very gentlemanly. It just goes to show that if you hang on in there, you get your chance, Peter.
Well, the thing is, I mean, people think about snooker players and, you know, being very calm under pressure, but, you know, these players have prepared very hard for this. And when they're under so much pressure, there needs to be a release of tension. And, you know, I've always thought that, you know, we want it as much as the footballers or anybody else. And, you know, it's not surprising. It's just down to an individual character. But you don't normally see Joe do that. But
Yeah. How many times did we say that, though, when we were watching that frame? Pressure, the P word, John.
Yeah, absolutely. But Mark Allen had a great chance there. I mean, I thought he was going to win that frame. A pink, it's not a gimme, the pink he's missed, but you'd expect him to pot it, Peter, wouldn't you? Where you're just going to stun up and come up with the colours, but he didn't do it. And as I say, if you're missing this game, you tend to lose the frame.
Yeah, it's just maintaining that composure, isn't it? Especially if you need to go to the latter stages.
Well, Joe would be very aggrieved because the red that he missed to leave Mark Allen in with that chance, the previous black that he played, he got a kick on that, so he didn't get position. And the red was very, very tricky. We called it at the time that this red is very dodgy, and he ended up missing it. So, you know, that's when he was absolutely distraught.
OK. If you look back to the last time these two met as well, John, Perry and Allen, Perry won the first frame, and he did in this one as well. So there's a bit of hope for Joe as well. Won the first frame, went on to win it.
Yeah, but the 4-4 in matches, there's not much between the two players either. But the fact that both in great form, you know, means that. But that was one really important part. If they'd gone 5-2, Mark, you know, Marcus obviously knows he's going to have a lead going into the next session. So that was a massive frame.
Yeah, how do you think Allen's feeling right now then?
Well, obviously, he'd be absolutely distraught with himself, you know, missing that pink. You would never, ever see him missing a pink like that. And he's been playing so well, so that was most unexpected. He'll be really, really disappointed at the moment.
Yeah, it's a crucial frame for Joe, that was, wasn't it? Because, you know, he knows if he carries on playing and putting the pressure on Mark, that's what he has to do.
Yeah, and it's a big frame again, because it's psychologically, you play these sessions, and what obviously the first thing you're trying to win them. But sometimes a draw in them is all right. But in this first session now, just to get a lead after the first session is big. So this next frame coming up, if Mark Allen can get it and have a 2-frame lead after what he's done, he'll be delighted with that. And then Joe will be thinking, oh, one of those sessions where I'm playing catch-up then from having a good, you know, 1-0 lead.
Yeah, imagine it goes 4-4 as well, because we're playing 8 frames, of course, in this session.
All to play for. Best of 25, first of 13. And this is what the players love, the longer matches.
Yeah, and just very briefly, just talk about, yes, Kyron Wilson has to play Jamie Jones, but we could be looking at, if Mark Allen wins this match, we could be looking at a possible repeat of the Masters final, and how we enjoyed that, John.
Yeah, that was a magnificent match, but as I say, in this World Championship, there's lots of sessions to go, lots of great players to beat. It's you know, it's difficult to predict at the best of times how these sessions are going to go. We've just got to let it unfold. If that happens, it happens.
OK, we're having a bit of a switch here on BBC Two, because what we're going to do now is leave this match that you're watching right now, Mark Allen, Joe Perry, goes to the red button, BBC Sport website and app. And what we're going to do is take you to the other match that's going on right now, because when we left it earlier, Ryan Day was 7-3 in front. He led overnight by 6 frames to 3, but Anthony McGill has launched a bit of a fight back, taking 4 of the next 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to cross live to this one. Remember, this is a first-round match, and join John Virgo and Stephen Hendry.
Well, thank you, Jason. Ryan Day had a good chance there, missing an easy pink, but in all honesty, Stephen, they're both missing chances galore, aren't they?
Well, this afternoon we've got a high break of 51.
Thank you, frame
by
16.
Ryan Day.
Anthony McGill to break.
It's been, well, it's been one to forget so far, but it's getting to the exciting part of the match, you feel. Surely someone's going to produce something to get over the winning line.
Yeah, all these frames they play could have gone either way. Nobody's dominated, nobody's made any big frame-winning clearances, such as Ryan Day did in the first session. And you just get the feeling at the moment that the occasion is getting the better of both players.
Another frame. It seems every single frame the black's tied up again. And it seems to be setting a pattern. Nice clean pot.
One.
Now, what sort of angle has he got in the brown? A huge target. Miss the pink. You don't want to hit the pink. You want to go straight into the meat of the reds. He's really struggling with his form, Anthony McGill. He's done tremendously well. I mean, obviously helped by his opponent. But to get back to 8-7, he's really struggling with his game. I kind of think, John, someone like Anthony McGill is almost better, you know, coming through the qualifying. If he'd won 3 matches, he might be a lot sharper.
Yeah, well, a few people have been saying that not only do you get sharper, you get a few wins under your belt, and probably gives you a bit of confidence. But he absolutely bashed at that brown, and it never went anywhere near the pocket. Trusted the table there, and it didn't let him down. Well, that's careless. The yellow full in the face. And he's left a pot on here for Ryan. He needs to start knocking these in. It's usually one of his strong suits, but he's missed quite a few today. And you find that when people are under pressure, players under pressure, just start to hit the ball a little bit too hard.
One.
But fully committed to that one. And that was a good shot. Of course, you wouldn't expect a lot between these two players. Anthony McGill, obviously the seeded player, seeded 14 in the world rankings. If we just get over the 5-hour mark. But Ryan Day, who had to play the 3 qualifiers, he only just missed out by a fraction of being a seeded player because he's world ranked number 17. Oh dear.
Ryan Day 1.
It's getting very, very edgy out there, and when you start missing blacks like that when you're in, and you can see how annoyed he is.
One.
It's as if he was like trying to hold for the red, but surely when the black gets respotted, he can't pot that red anyway.
No, it didn't look like it would.
Anthony McGill goes straight into the bunch here. Hoping for a split. And he's okay. He's got a red to the right middle.
Yeah, you could say he deserves to be on something a little bit easier than this.
Screw the cue ball down. You can have a choice of pink to left middle or black.
Nine.
Takes a little bit pressure off this black. He's just got to roll it in. Worst way will be on the red that's near the far right corner. probably be the choice. And it's made easier. He doesn't have to do much with the
16.
cue ball because the yellow's close to the opposite corner.
$17.
When Ryan Day kept that 3-frame advantage when they went to the mid-session interval, 8-5 in front, you thought, well, he's only got to produce somewhere near his best form to get through this. But it has been noticeable, even though he's not scored that heavily, that Anthony, since that mid-session interval, has come out with a bit more purpose in his play. Because he wasn't playing that well before the
20.
interval, and you just sort of got the feeling that Ryan Day was happy just to fall over the line, if possible. But the game's never been that easy. Not the best positional shot.
27.
Well, he's landed straightish on this red to the far right corner. There's always a little bit of pressure on these, but you wouldn't fancy him missing it. Right in the heart
28.
of the pocket. This time, under-hit it. Previous
35.
shot off the black, he over-hit it. Just about struggled in. Not perfect on this blue by any means. The things that players will do to avoid using the rest. At full stretch here. And that's what caused him to miss it. I see it so many times.
Anthony McGill, 36.
It wasn't that difficult a pot, but he was at full stretch. You only got to dab a little bit of unwanted side on it.
As you say, it seemed to want to do anything but use the rest, which is surprising. It wasn't a difficult shot, but he never seemed to build up a rhythm in that break. Never seemed to get the cue ball. You know, we keep going on about how important it is to get that cue ball on a string.
1.
I think plain and simple, Anthony's not playing well, John, and we've all been there. It's a struggle.
Yeah, that is the bottom line. And as you say, considering he's not played that well, to only be 1 frame behind and still in this match is remarkable, really. But that is mainly due to his opponent not taking advantage of his opportunities. And there's another example. Big target, those 4 reds.
8.
To glance off them like that is not good.
Randy, 8.
Well, he thought he could play it as a half shot to nothing, and He's certainly not left anything easy. Well, there may have been a red just below the pink that would have gone to the right middle. It won't now. But this one will go to the far right corner. And no pressure on it, really. The only red he could leave is the one he's playing. And it's right in the heart of the pocket. But lost the cue ball again.
That's what happens when you're not playing well. You put so much effort into just potting the ball. You lose the positional side of the shot. When you're playing well, everything's automatic. He's on nothing. He is on nothing.
8.
A little bit unlucky, really. Okay, possibly a double. I don't think it's too risky to take that on, I think.
Well, professionals don't like playing doubles because if they don't go in, you don't know which jaw of the middle pocket they're going to hit, and the red could quite easily come back down towards the cue ball. He's got an easy safety. He's reduced his arrears to just 20 points. But he's played the double.
9.
And he's got it. He's got it. Took a chance there. He wasn't a shot for nothing.
Yeah, that was almost like I'm fed up with this.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go for it. Fed up with this mucking about. I want to win this match. I'm going to be aggressive.
Yeah, as I say, he'd have left the red to the middle pocket.
16.
He's played for this. Didn't look as though all the pocket was available here, but he must think it is. No, it didn't look to me. I mean, he played for that red, and I don't know
Round
why
day
he didn't go up
16.
the table and play for the red to the right of the pink. You can smile, it is getting laughable.
Very strange shot choice, isn't it? The angle he had in the black, he could have easily played for a red to the right corner, stun the cue ball at the table. Yes.
Easy snooker to lay here. Just push the red past the pink and nestle the cue ball up to the pink. Does it pass the green, this red? He must think there's a chance. There's not all the pocket, but there's a bit of it sticking out. We'll know before he does. It's there.
1.
Good shot. This blue will put him 18 points in front. He cannot win it with just the 2 open reds. He's going to need that awkward one that's tight to the cushion near the right middle. So this frame
6.
is not over yet by a long chalk.
7.
Looking for the angle on this red. In potting it, you'd be trying to nudge the red away
9.
from the cushion near the middle pocket. Now if you can get this right, you'll be on the blue. And the awkward red will be available. Played it well. Played it very well. The blue and the red is just developed to level the match.
Yeah, all credit to Anthony McGill.
15.
He's not playing well, but he's keeping his focus on what's important, just trying to win this match. Try and get to 10. That's all you can think about when you're playing poorly. Just concentrate on the end game. Get the result. You're in the next round, you can play better in that match.
There you see the difference, 33 ahead, 27 remaining.
21.
Went nicely on the yellow. And you would think,
23.
well, now that he's nicely on the green, playing these left-handed,
26.
it's definitely going to be all square now at 8-all, and Ryan Day has let a big advantage slip away here. And as I say, just signs, and that was cued beautifully.
30.
Just signs that Anthony McGill is finding a bit of form. Well, I say that, he misses a blue, but it doesn't matter.
McGill, 30.
Not a concession from Ryan Day. So Anthony McGill, without producing his best, has now levelled. He was 8-5 down, it's now 8-all.
Yeah, and let's not forget that Ryan was 6-3 in front. And John, Ryan played ever so well yesterday evening with that break of 145. But what has happened? Has he come into this match thinking, I only need the 4 frames?
He's definitely gone off the boil a little bit. He's certainly helping Anthony McGill, who I have to give enormous credit to, because he's playing nothing like he can play. I've watched McGill play quite a few matches. He is playing nowhere near the level. He plays a wonderful shot here, though, Jason, where he pots this and stuns and moves the red off the cushion. This was a very good shot. Excellent. It set up the frame to win, but his form in this match has been very, very mediocre. But he must be blessed with a very good temperament, because he's hung in there and carried on playing and doing his stuff. And it's turned round because Ryan's given him a help.
Well, it's also worth us reminding you as well that we've been keeping an eye on this match as well as we've been concentrated on the Mark Allen-Joe Perry match. And the one thing we said, didn't we, this afternoon, was Ryan's had so many opportunities to win frames.
Yeah, I mean, I keep going back to the match I played in the qualifiers. He never missed the ball against me. He played unbelievable snooker. He was at the top of his form. It's like a different player. It's doing my brain in. It's so frustrating for me to watch. He's played unbelievable against me in the qualifiers, and now he's missing everything.
Yeah, but last night he played so well.
He did, but that's last night. You know, the last night is a totally different session. He's come here today, and he's just not been. Well, he's just been a little lax in his position, little lapse with his concentration, missed a couple of shots he shouldn't. And Anthony McGill, as I said to you, to his credit, he's hung around. He's just kept in there, despite having no great form. Potted a few balls here and there, made it difficult. I mean, he's done remarkably well to get it back to 8 each. He really has, because he's not really played.
Can you call it, boys?
I think the new cloth has made a massive difference. We've seen a couple of long balls that Ryan has missed where he's put unintentional side on. He's at the wrong side of the ball. So the new cloth that's gone on last night has done him no favours at all. He's really struggling on it today.
To be honest with you, I don't think he can pick a winner now. Someone's going to win, obviously, but I don't know who it is.
But the momentum is with Anthony McGill, isn't it?
You would think so, but as I said to you, is he playing that well that when his chances come, he's going to take... He's hanging around, he's doing a good job. When it comes down to this, it's just who's going to find a little bit from somewhere.
It's got 10-9 written all over it, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, possibly. But Ryan will be really disappointed because having had those opportunities and also going into this final session, he should be really thinking to himself, we're going to go over the line, get some rest and get ready for the second round. Now he's embroiled in a right battle on his hands.
Maybe that's why he's not doing it, if that's what he is thinking. I mean, I'm not too sure he would be. It's just today, it's just not gone his way. He looked quite confident early on in the sessions, but it hasn't quite gone his way. And as I say to you, all credit to Anthony McGill. He has been nowhere near his best. He's probably been 50 or 60%. He's hung in there.
And you boys know what it's like in this pressured situation. What about this, though? Anthony McGill, both players have popped out. Anthony McGill is back in the arena. Come on, let's get this on. Ryan's not there yet.
Well, he may just be throwing a bit of water on his face, trying to compose himself and get himself ready again. Yeah. Having a little team talk, you know, because obviously sometimes you need to go out and clear your head, and I would be doing that, throwing a bit of water on my face and coming back and starting again, because he's got now a best of 3 to get in the next round.
Here we go then. OK, let's enjoy this.
Yes, and the screen's gone up. So these two players have got the Crucible Theatre all to themselves now. No applause coming from the other side of the wall to put you off.
Thank you. Settle down, please.
But Ryan Day has got to find a bit of form. Anthony
17th
McGill
frame,
just signs
right
he's
leg.
showing a bit now to get to 8-all, but well, it started off best of 19. Now it's the equivalent of a best of 3.
I was just watching Anthony there while Ryan was breaking off. He was talking to himself, geeing himself up. This has been a monumental effort to get to 8 each. You know, I remind everybody, his last 50 break was in frame 7. His highest break of the match is only 75. But somehow, he's still in this match at 8 each.
Yeah, and conversely, Ryan Day has had breaks of 141, 145, highest of the championship so far. But he's a long way off that form so far this afternoon.
He's gone at the moment, Ryan Day. That's what we say. The term that players give when you see other players playing like this. It's the G word, John. I don't like to say it, but
Yeah, and it can happen so quickly. As I say, when he went into the mid-session interval still leading 8-5, it looked like he was still well in control of this match. But he's not in control of it now.
okay, he's playing a shot. It's not a gimme. He's playing a shot to try and screw the cue ball off the pack for the black, but look at body language. And Anthony McGill is the one that's shown positive body language at the moment. And he's got no form to back it up, but what he has got
8
at the moment is the belief that he can still win this match. The will to win.
$15. $16.
Looks to have just upped his pace a little bit.
23.
That can come from feeling more positive, more confident.
$24.
Couple of loose reds to go at, but if you're going to make a sizable contribution to this visit, he needs to play a cannon on that main cluster. May elect to go up for the blue now to try and leave an angle
31.
to do that. Well, no, he's coming back for the black.
32.
He's still talking to himself. He's really geeing himself up. He won't be happy with that one though. He's finished a foot short.
39.
The cue ball. That was well controlled.
Yes, and he's held the cue ball short of the baulk line, so it gives him a choice. Well, no real choice. I think Brown's the one he'll play. Now, can he get into these reds? Has he got the angle? He did. He's got into him, and it's worked out absolutely perfectly.
44.
You can just see, John, even the expression in his face is completely different from when he came out at 6-3 down.
45.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he came out at the start of the session, 6-3 down, and then didn't make any inroads into that deficit. Went into the mid-session into 8-5 down. But he certainly, as you say, upped his tempo since the mid-session interval. And Ryan Day,
52.
his poor form has just continued. maybe now he's facing defeat. Maybe he'll just up his pace a bit.
Wouldn't that be typical? Wouldn't that be typical?
It would be
for that to
typical,
happen?
wouldn't it? In the meantime, Anthony has still got a few balls to pot to clinch this frame. 52 points to lead, looking for at least 3 more reds.
As I said before, this is his highest break since frame 7. What a time
53.
to start. To put in a 1 visit win in a frame. Again, it's not the best positional shot. He's finished straight on this black. That's not good. Needs to really hit this well. I think the 2 reds at the top and left of the bunch of 6 both go to the left corner, but he really has to strike this well with a touch of left-hand side. There he sees where he wants to put the cue ball. Good cueing required here. Didn't get the side. Cued it well, but didn't get the left-hand side.
60.
End of break. 60 points to lead, but still a possible 83 remaining. Missed a golden opportunity there. And there you go. That's the view from right back in the arena. No matter where you sit in the Crucible, you've got a tremendous view of the table, and the action and the atmosphere is just electric. And there you go, and the people on the other side who were watching the other match have all stayed to see this one played out to a finish.
Anthony McGill, 60.
Yeah, it's quite a clever safety to put the cue ball in the jaws of the pocket. Makes it tricky cueing. Wow.
1.
He just flicked the red next to the one that he potted, and that stopped him being perfect on the black. What a shot to take on, though.
Yeah, well, as we said, you know, that he might feel now's the time to try and raise his game. But if he takes this pink to the middle, this is tricky. No, that was tricky. And surely
Ryan Day, 1.
That's going to cost him this frame. And Ryan Day, who led 6-3, 8-5, is now surely going 9-8 behind.
Yeah, he tried to make something happen there, Ryan Day.
1.
Very tricky shot. Looks quite easy on the screens, but that's very tricky.
This black and just 1 more red needed. And he's right on the red. There you see it, 67 ahead at the moment, 67 remaining. This to go 68 ahead with just 59 left. What a comeback. I very much doubt that Ryan Day will
16.
try for the snookers. In the old days, I think a player like Eddie Charlton or Ray Reardon would have done. Just 4 snookers needed, but not in the modern game. It doesn't seem to happen. Just looking to see.
16
Yes,
frame.
and a nod of the head from Ryan Day, so he's let the big lead slip, and now he's on the brink of defeat, because Anthony McGill is just 1 frame away now from a place in the second round. He leads 9-8.
Ryan Day was thrashed by Anthony McGill in this season's Scottish Open, and I just wonder whether that is playing on his mind, because this is a match that he really should have sealed.
No, the only thing playing on his mind is he's been 6-3 in front, comfortable, looks like winning, and all of a sudden he's stopped potting balls and he's stopped scoring, and Stephen said he looks like he's gone. And the red he missed, he nearly didn't hit the jaws with it. I said it was the best of 3 in anyone's game. Well, it's not on that frame. It looks like, you know, it looks like Anthony McGill's got the match.
John's
won.
absolutely right. I'm just looking at pictures now of Ryan Day, who looks sitting in his chair. Peter looks absolutely bamboozled.
Well, he played very well, didn't he, in the first session? He played fantastic in all of his matches in the qualifiers, and at the moment, as Stephen Hendry quite rightly said, he looks absolutely gone. You called it, didn't you, the pink that he missed into the middle there. He said near knuckle. He's missed that by quite some way. He's just really struggling. He's got no confidence. He's gone from having all the confidence in the world to having the best season he's ever done, and now he's really struggling out there. It's not the first time that's happened to him, to be fair, at the Crucible here in the World Championship.
Yeah, and look at McGill. He looks so composed, doesn't he, Johnny?
Well,
just thankful to be left in this competition.
I say to you, there's an art in hanging around. Sometimes you don't have your A game,
and you just have to stick
and
around.
you just have to stick around and hope things change. And Anthony McGill, this is one of those matches. It might be a 1 in 10 or a 1 in 15, where you just hang around and you get a bit of help for your opponent. And this is one of those games, and it's to his credit. He's obviously blessed with a great temperament. As Stephen said, he had a 75 break, something like in, I don't know, in frame 6 or something or other. And since then, he's not even been scoring, Anthony, but he's just been hanging around, playing hard match play, and he's being helped by Ryan Day, and he's getting his rewards for doing that.
Yeah, 6-3 Ryan Day led overnight in that 9th frame yesterday evening with a break of 145. He must have gone to bed thinking, right, let's get this over and done with. But what a comeback from Anthony McGill. This is live here at the Crucible. Let's go back to John Virgo and Stephen Hendry.
Yeah, he was 6-3 ahead, and he was also 8-5 ahead, which is an even better lead. Taking this on. No. Well, not only is he missed the red by a mile, he's just stuck Anthony McGill up with this red.
One.
Well, just look at that. Pot success since the mid-session interval. Ryan Day, 48%. That doesn't win anything at this level.
Oh, Anthony McGill, what an angle you had in the black to go into the bunch there. Yeah, and playing for one of the loose reds, you've not even played a good shot there. You want to win the match at this visit, you have to go into the bunch. A perfect angle in the black.
Anthony McGill.
Now, possibly a bad contact there, just from Anthony McGill's reaction. But I think he missed a trick.
Well, he's playing this to the far right corner. It's close, but not there. Just pushing that red down to the top cushion. He's in a position now, Ryan, where he can't afford to leave his opponent any more opportunities, as he'll be out. And we're all saying what a great season he's had, his best season ever, winning 3 events. But this would really hurt if he was to lose this match, having looked to be in total control.
Another possible ray of hope for Ryan Day is he knows his opponent hasn't won many frames in one visit. So chances are he won't do it in this frame either, when it's certainly for the frame to win the match. So he might still have chances in this match, Ryan Day.
Yeah, but as that stat shown us, and it's quite remarkable, and you know, you don't notice it, you're just looking on, commentating on what's happening on the table, but since the mid-session interval, when he was 8-5 in front, to only have a 45% pot success, that is amazing. No wonder he's lost the last 4 frames. Left a pot on here. Don't think he can hold for the black. If he's going to play it, he's going to have to possibly go back up for the blue. It's there though. And he's going to finish nicely on the blue.
1.
Did sound a bit heavy, the contact, but it didn't knock the red offline. As I say, perfect on the blue.
Thanks.
Another contact that sounded a little bit heavy.
6.
Hmm.
7.
Not sure I agree with that shot. He could have played the other red.
Blue ball.
Got in the blue and gone straight on the red to get nicer on the black. That was a... Okay, it was a poor shot to try and get on the black, but as I said... Or has he flicked to blue?
Anthony McGill, 7.
It doesn't look like he's going to win it in one visit.
No. And he got down and played that blue so quickly. And was nowhere near it. And if this red doesn't go, he's been very fortunate. Oh, well, it did go. So can Ryan Day
1.
step up a gear? He surely can't play as poorly as he has done in the last 4 frames.
Red to the middle. And just cannon the red that's to the left of it, leave the pink to the opposite middle.
Seven.
Where does the pink? Well, the pink goes on its spot, and that doesn't help Ryan
13.
much, to be honest with you. He'd like to go back up for the blue, but with that pink being separated from the main bunch of reds, it's not the easiest pack to split open.
Now, funny enough, the easiest colour to get into the pack is yellow, a half ball yellow, or a half ball brown off one cushion.
14.
There's a bit of distance between the pink and the bunch. He needs to hit this pink absolutely full in the face. He hasn't done, but I think he's got a pot on.
90.
There's 2 or 3 easy pots he had. Maybe he's just got
20.
a little bit of focus back. Big shot. This could be the frame if this goes well. Brown off the side cushion into the bunch. As he played it well. That's okay.
Yeah, he'd look for something easier, obviously, but
24.
he's got the red to the right middle, doesn't have to do much to get position on the black. And if he can cope with this, frame at his mercy. Oh, and as he missed the pink in the last frame, he's missed the red in the same pocket.
24.
Same knuckle of the pocket as well, near knuckle. Maybe we were getting the right angle, but I thought he just needs to follow through that, John, for the black. Just drop the red in.
Yeah, I've got to be honest with you, I'm surprised he stunned it, because when you play a stun shot and a little bit more pace, you've got to be more accurate. So here's a chance for Anthony McGill. He comes to the table just 9 points behind. But nothing at the moment is coming easy to either of these players. Played for the blue in the left middle, overscrewed by a good 1.5 foot.
Well, he's looking at the yellow because it's easier pot, but it looks to me like brown is the right ball for position. Stun of 2 cushions for a red to the left corner. This, although it's easier pot, this needs to be struck very well to avoid the blue. And that was a problem. There was a bad angle on the yellow.
Free.
Well, there is a red that goes to the left middle, but I don't see where the colour comes from. So, dangerous pot and no guaranteed reward, even if you get it. So it looks like it's going to be a safety. So another chance, spurned.
Anthony
Go
McGill.
back to that red that Ryan Day missed. When players are under pressure, they like to. Some players like to play stuns. Some players like to play drop. What were you, John? Did you feel it was easier to stun under pressure?
Well, if it was straightish, but I think when you're playing the drop one in the middle, I think I'd have been rolling that one. Just crept on enough for the brown to cover the red, just to the right of the blue. And it's now all about who are the fractions going to favour. Didn't want to risk trying to get back to the balk end. He thought if you don't catch it right, he could leave that red to the right of the blue. Just 6 points in it. Ryan Day with the lead.
He just can't play a shot right, Ryan Day. He's at the moment, well, for the past 4 frames, he's followed one bad shot with another. Can he play for the black here? Anthony McGill looks a natural.
One.
Another chance to win the match. Little cannon, push the red towards the right corner. Oh, he's played the drop in the black shot. He's playing all the easy shots, which I suppose is the right way to go, make it simple.
8.
2 points the lead now.
Nine.
Left himself a nice angle on the black, and he could pot the black now, bring the 4 reds into play, and have frame and match at his mercy. And that's the situation. Just a case now of holding yourself together.
16.
10 points to lead.
Yeah. 17.
If Anthony does go in to win the match here, I think you'll probably regard this as John as one of his best ever victories. The way he's won this match.
Yeah, and Ryan Day will consider this probably one of his worst ever defeats. And there were certainly times in this match, and we've seen it with other players, that when you're playing poorly, it's easy for your head to drop. And fair play to Anthony, particularly after the mid-session interval. He came out and he had a more purpose about him. He thought, I'm not going to go out without a fight.
That's exactly what
24.
I mean. He's not played well, but he's found something from somewhere. Not with the line yet. He's going to play a little shot with some right-hand side here. And he's not played it. He's been very tentative. That was pressure.
Absolute, nothing else. It looks simple, but he had to
31.
play with a tracer right-hand side, and if you just hit it a little bit too hard, it can throw the side off. So he concentrated on so much on potting the black, lost position. Will he get a better chance
McGill,
than that
31.
to clinch the match?
Played a shot. Excellent safety shot. Okay, he's not got a snooker, but compared to what he's been playing previously, that was an excellent shot from Ryan Day. It's just kept him in this match for the time being.
Well, he took a little bit of a risk there, but he knows the way that Ryan has been playing in this, well, the last 4 frames since the mid-session interval, so he's leaving him a tempter here, and it's in one of these, well, is he playing it in the middle or the far corner? Well, he was bound to be on the pink if it went in. This is a typical crucible nail biter. Who's going to push the bolt out? Looks like it's going to be Anthony McGill. 25 points to lead. 2 reds, 2 colours would do it. Just fraction away.
He knew that was game ball. Look at where he is with the cue ball. Pot the blue, come down for the red below the pink. You say 2 reds, 2 colours. He knew that was match ball.
Needs to cover desperately, and I don't think he's got it. Shake of the head from Ryan Day as he goes back, sit in his chair. Could that be his last shot in this year's Betfred World Snooker Championship?
1.
Could have played that better.
This pink. This green, sorry. It's anything but easy when there's this pressure on.
Anthony McGill, 1.
Well, would you believe it? These things only happen at the Crucible. I've said it before. And it goes.
Pink to right middle, screw the cue ball off the left-hand side cushion for the red. He's missed a few into this right middle pocket. And struggled in.
Yeah, not that one. And he's got a nice angle on this red, but believe me, after what's gone on before, take nothing for granted. He won't.
Ryan Day, 7.
Look at where he's put the yellow.
Okay, quiet, please.
I shouldn't have played it that hard, I've got to be honest with you. I mean, I know he wants to be easy on the next ball, but he didn't really give that red much of a chance of going in at that pace.
No, he could have dropped the red in. A straight brown to the left middle. Would have made the pot on the red 100 times easier.
But he was looking for the easier shot on the next ball. But with the pressure that's out there, you can always be wiser when we just sat up here in the commentary box. This needs to run. Needs to run. Oh, it's dropped in. The middle pocket that has caused him possibly to lose the last 2 frames has come to his rescue there. And gives him the advantage in this tactical battle. Just look at this. If it stops short, it's left over the middle. It dropped in. 18 points the difference. No matter which way, unless he misses it a couple of times, Ryan Day's going to need the 6 remaining colours, which includes that tricky black along the top cushion. First priority though, try and hit the yellow and get it safe.
Well, this is, when you're playing a long rest, it's very easy to flick a bit aside on the cue ball here, unintentional side.
Yeah, he just had a long look at the scoreboard, did Anthony. He realises that he needs to hit this. And this is a good hit. But he's left it. This will cut. It's a thin one, but it will cut.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to go in and out of bulk here. I don't know if he can hold this dead weight for the green. Well, he could. That's a lovely shot. That's a very good shot.
2.
How do you like that black, John, the way you've been playing? To make it 9-9.
But that's what you've got to do now. You just got to put the black out of your mind and concentrate on the balls in front of you.
This brown is tough when you're low in confidence.
Pressure now on every shot for Ryan Day. Good clean pot, but I don't think he's going to be very good on the blue unless it runs. Needs to run a bit more. Just slightly twixt in between. Good shot.
14.
And now he doesn't want to be straight on the pink, because if he is, he can't get close to the black. He's got just the slightest of angles. And trying to pinch a bit more to get good position or closer to the black. He's missed the pink.
I don't think Anthony McGill should overthink this. Just get the pink safe.
Well, I'd like to add that cue ball tight to the baulk cushion here. It's not, doesn't look too difficult a safety shot. Could be in, could be in. Ooh, but now it's gone in. Boy, has Ryan Day got one of the toughest safety shots you can have on a snooker table.
Yeah, he didn't want that in. He might play the double kiss here. What a shot. What a shot.
Ryan Day, 6.
The best shot he's played today by a mile.
Yes, and nice to see it was appreciated by Anthony McGill. He'll be sending this black round the angles. Needs to get it in the middle of the top cushion, and this looks a good line and a very good length. So Ryan Day has coped with this situation once. Can he do it again? This time up and down. Up and down. Played it to come on and off the top cushion, but he got so close to the pocket, it rattled in the jaws, and Anthony McGill has got this black now for one of the best and hard-fought victories of his career, and a place in the second round. It's there. Well, unbelievable. Ryan Day smiles. He's got not much to smile about, but Anthony McGill looks up to his friends and family as Ryan Day, head bowed, walks out of the arena, and Anthony McGill still looks in a little bit of a state of shock there. But what a comeback. 8-5 behind, wins 5 on the spin, through to the second round, 10-8, unbelievable.
Well, it's just a good job that our microphones were not faded up during that, because we've oohed and ahed all the way through that frame. That was just pulsating stuff, wasn't it, John?
Oh, just had absolutely everything. You didn't know what was happening next. Anthony started off by missing the green in the middle when he just looked like he had the match won. And then we had all the thing. Then Ryan flukes the pink, misses the pink off the spot, flukes it playing the cross double, and you know the safety shots and everything. And then, to be honest with you, that is one of the most subdued, wonderful celebrations that I've ever seen. Me and Peter are going to practice that one. I think it's the new one. We should all do that one. It's a bit like, we'll have the Mobot, we'll have the McGill one where he just puts his hand in the air.
Fair play to Anthony, though, still signing autographs as well. I mean, that's absolutely wonderful. And I tell you what, how much spirit has that young man shown this afternoon?
Yeah, because to be perfectly honest, he's not played well, has he? You know,
No.
he struggled, he hung in there, and the more pressure that Ryan Day was under, the stronger Anthony McGill got. So every credit to him. He's not played well, he's stuck in there, and he's won the match.
Fabulous show of temperament. I mean, sometimes that's what it is. It's not just about potting balls and you know, flair and skill. All these things are important, but when you can just stick in there, I mean, you're a great example of it. I mean, Peter's won loads and loads against you, just been sticking in there, trying as hard as you can. He's done that. He's not really had any great form.
By just being belligerent.
Well, just being hanging around and waiting to see what happened. And what happened today is his opponent got worse, he got slightly better, and it was good enough to win the match. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
And Peter and John, I read a really good interview with Anthony McGill just before he came to the Crucible, where he says, such a special tournament, such a special venue. I remind myself that these days aren't going to last forever. And when I'm 60, I wish I could play at the Crucible one more time. So I try and soak up the atmosphere. That's a great mindset, isn't it?
Absolutely, and he's a really nice young lad as well, Anthony McGill, and very, very talented player. We've not seen the best of him in this match, not by a long, long way. So let's hope he can kick on now. We mustn't forget just how much pressure the Seeds are under in their first match. He's done well to get through that match. Ryan Day played fantastic in the first session. Anthony struggled all the way through, but when he needed to, he found something, and that's what it's all about.
OK, he's standing by to talk to us. He's with Rob.
Anthony, that was a match that had a little bit of everything. I mean, there were plenty of mistakes from both of you. What an extraordinary end to that frame. But the bottom line is you won 5 frames in a row and you're through to the second round.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe I won that match because the whole way through I was behind and I really wasn't playing anywhere near the required level. But it just shows you what can happen out there if you just dig in and just keep fighting till the death. And, you know, I mean, managed to turn it around somehow and, yeah, just delighted.
In terms of the standard, did you pull each other down a little bit?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I started off really bad this morning. I thought last night I actually felt quite good, and I was really disappointed to be 6-3. I think Ryan was maybe slightly better, but I don't think he was 6-3 better. So I felt a little bit annoyed at that. But this morning I wasn't good enough, and Ryan really should have ran away with it and probably dragged him down a wee bit as well because he had a couple of really monster breaks yesterday, and he's had the best season in his career. So, but listen, it's not about how you do it; it's just if you do it. So.
And you must have thought at times in that frame that you were going all the way and he was coming back and it was going to be a decider.
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 frames I felt so comfortable. Even the last frame there, I missed a few chances to win, but I can honestly say it wasn't through nerves. I had a chance and I landed shot with 3 reds to go. The black cushion just died a little bit. I missed it a couple, but I just missed, you know. But I felt really good towards the end. And when the curtain goes up and you've got the whole arena to yourself, honestly, there's no place like it.
Well, you do seem to thrive here. I mean, I know you've had some tough results here, and Stephen beat you comprehensively last year, but a run to the quarters on your debut a few years ago, you do seem that when you get in a groove, you enjoy being here on the sport's biggest stage, and this should give you confidence going into the match against Ding because, yeah, you haven't had a great second half of this season, but no finer place and no better time to turn it round than at the World Championship.
No, I know. It gives me great confidence to know that my best snooker in the match was towards the end, when, you know, it was like back against the wall stuff, and then I started to play a little bit. But obviously, I don't know what to say, Rob. I mean, I'm in the dressing room at 8-5, and I thought I'd blown my chance because I really had to get back to 7-6. But then I had thoughts of Jamie Jones. Do you know what I mean? It was 8-5 down, wasn't he? So, you know, I knew it was possible. So, like I say, if you never give up, if you just keep fighting, you might win 1 match in 50, but it's worth the fight to win that 1 match.
Well, it certainly was. Your prize is a meeting with Ding in the second round. Good luck with that one. Well done today.
Cheers, Rob. Cheers.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, it's exactly what you said. Exactly what you said, and that's exactly what he was feeling. But also, John, I'm looking back at the Masters as well, and do you remember what we were showing that match when he was playing John Higgins? Higgins went 2-0 up, and then McGill went 4-2 up, and he ended up losing that game 6-4 as well. So you just wonder, when you learn from your mistakes as well, whether you can use that in a situation like this?
You could, well, every match is experience, and certainly for him, he's not been here that many times when he plays in it, but what he's had beforehand, who knows, that may stood him in good stead today. It was all about character. It's all about character. It's all about everyone can play when the sun's shining and everything's going your way. It's the ability to win matches like that, dig one out now and again. When you haven't been at your best, you've been outplayed, which he was in the opening session of that match. And it's to his credit. It's wonderful credit to his credit there, to what he's done today. Yeah. That was a game he shouldn't have won.
Well done then to Anthony McGill. He plays Ding Junhui on Sunday in the second round. Tough match ahead for Anthony. Right then, let's go back to someone else who's shown a bit of character over the past couple of months. That is Mark Allen and his second round match against Joe Perry. When we left it here on BBC Two, Allen was in front by 4 frames to 3. So let's show you what happened in frame 8. Commentating on this one, Dennis Taylor and Steve Davis.
Well, he took that on. Felt the only red he could leave was the one he was having a go at, and look where it's finished up. Absolutely safe.
Settle down, please. Thank you.
I think he's okay, but it's always annoying when you catch the jaw, the middle pocket, when you play the safety shot. But I don't think that red to the end of the bunch cuts into the left corner. No, it's blocked.
Foul. And a miss.
Well, it might be a free ball. Which
and a free ball.
It is.
Joel Perry, 4.
Well, Joe could take the brown on. He wouldn't be leaving anything, and if he puts the brown and gets back on a colour again, a bit of a chance. No real value in putting Mark in from where they finished.
Brown ball.
So brown it is. That's the extra red. And that would have been very nice for Joe there. This red has just come off the cushion behind the black and is cuttable. And the white will head back towards the blue. He won't cannon into the reds on the way back. Needs to pull up. It's going close to the corner pocket, this.
One. Joel Perry, 1.
Well, this time he does send the white into the pocket. It only costs him 4 points because there's nothing on. And there's not a lot to play behind now, just the green with the safety shot. Very unusual. It's so early in the frame. I have the yellow and brown up this end of the table.
Yeah, it has arguably cost him the tactical advantage. So Joe Perry needs to make sure he collides with one of these reds thin. Doesn't want to be hitting the brown. Oh, he caught it so thin, he then collided with the second red. Damage report. Well, there is some damage done, I think. Mark Allen can get through to a red to the left corner and control the cue ball.
One.
So it looked like it was going to be a very awkward table, and all of a sudden Joe cannoning the brown has changed all that. I'd probably like to get on the yellow and get it away up onto its own spot here.
Very critical
8
position black and pink are in. It would be nice to perhaps pot the blue at some stage and knock into the pink and black. That's perhaps on his mind. But obviously that red by the black spot is also a hindrance. So a little bit of a problem to solve. in the order of how you go about things.
50.
Definitely worth playing the shot you suggested, Steve, here. Straight into the pink. No, he's playing for the loose red. I mean, there's 4 or 5 loose reds, but they're not perfectly placed.
Yeah. It suggests to me that he doesn't want to go into the pink and black until he's got that red away from the black spot.
I mentioned a few shots ago he'd like to get the yellow away out of this area up onto its own spot. He can do that now.
Well, he's not targeted that red by the black spot now, so
E3.
it's back up and down the table for the blue. Always a danger when you play that shot that you don't get right side of the blue, but Mark Allen seems to be pretty assured of getting that cue ball in a nice position. So he refused that breakout shot before, Dennis. He refuses it again.
Yeah, this time though he's got on that red that you suggested, and if he pots that and gets on the blue, I think he'll then play the cannon into the pink and red. He always wanted this one out of the way, as you suggested. But is he coming up a little bit short? Listen, there's nothing wrong with winning the frame just potting reds and blues.
Yeah, well, there's enough reds go. The only danger with this every time is always got to get correctly on the blue.
.36.
I think because it's the final frame of this session, he's putting everything into winning it and taking an overnight lead. Just the right side of the blue line there. Yeah, he's going to do it with blues.
41.
Well, he's nicking a few points every time he does it. At some stage he will try and get that position. course, going into the pink, no guarantee would be on a red, so...
He's up for his 6th blue. This time he's come up a little bit short, though. Okay, the red's just away from the pink, black, and 3 reds, but...
Yeah. I'd have loved to have seen a sort of what-if scenario if he had have gone into the pink earlier. I think it would have been an easier way. Obviously, trusting to a little bit of luck, but he's not over the line yet. I'm not. It's definitely not. It's not a sort of clear-cut wrong or right way, but
47.
Getting correctly on the blues always difficult. Cool. Be pleased to see that one go in. .49 points in front after he pots the yellow. He's still going to need an awkward red after this one. This not so much of a problem for a left-hander.
50.
What a time to miscue.
Mark Allen, 50.
What a time to miscue. 49 in front. He was playing to screw back for the blue. And we've seen a few players miscue so far in this year's Betfred World Championship. Well, what an effort. What an effort that is.
One.
Fantastic shot from Joe Perry. He obviously had to trust a little bit to luck, but plenty of topspin on that cue ball. Let's see if Joe can make Mark Allen pay for an error. Different type of error. Joe's was unlucky, but even so, be a lovely frame to win.
7.
To get out of this session 4-all, I think Joe Perry would be delighted. He was staring 5-2 in the face. That's a dog of a shot, it really is. What was that? Obviously, there was no way he was looking at the cue ball going along that line, so it's just a case of hit the shot. Probably kind of trying to come off the side cushion, the other side of the brown, with more right-hand spin. He didn't get the spin on enough.
Joe Perry, 8.
Not what he was looking for. He wanted a lot more than 8 points from that visit. And this looks a terrific shot. Super shot he's played there. .41 the difference. Needs to pull up, cover the red that's gone to the right side of the table, and he's played a super shot, acknowledged by Mark Allen there. Just tapped the table with his finger.
Yeah, tough one. What could Mark Allen work out here? I mean, there's a temptation to play off the side cushion and try and leave the cue ball in the jaws of the right corner. You would sacrifice an opportunity for your opponent into the left middle. Anything else? You can miss it easily. Temptation to try and flick off a red and get back to balk. I think full in the face and try and leave the cue ball in the jaws. Well, okay.
Where's the cue ball going to finish up?
Don't tell me he's hit it and left it safe.
Foul. And a miss.
I don't like the way he played that. He's obviously hoping to try and clip it thin, get back down the table, but I think full in the face, leave it in the jaws. Ask it of your opponent.
Yeah, I think he was hoping to just knock something safe, wasn't he? One of the.
Joe's going to need the black.
One.
He'd dearly love to get that far, wouldn't he? Well, he's got quite a few to pot.
Too sure he's come that nicely on the pink. Has he got an angle to get out for the red into the same pocket? Oh, it's been horrible. Perhaps a little bit careless with the positional play. Obviously the pink spot's on its own spot, and then the red is not potable into the left middle. Dead straight on this. Oh, he's had to sort of play that. Ugh. After two shots out of position is not nice. Not a nice feeling.
7.
Good recovery shot though from Joe Perry. Quite a bit of pressure on that pot. He's still got an awful lot to do, but the possibility of going in overnight all square, but a lot can happen before that is the case.
Could well be a very exciting conclusion to this first of 3 sessions between these two great players. Joe's obviously got to mind his work to get as far as the black, but as long as he's got good position, he's got a choice to make. Does he get behind the black and play it down the rail? Does he leave a double?
22.
Does he try and break it open? Does he try and knock
25.
the black out from the blue? All mad thoughts go through your mind. The simple way is usually the best, though.
29.
Shh.
He's tried to take the black out and it hasn't worked.
34.
He didn't have the correct angle. That was the problem. I think he perhaps should have cut his losses. No guarantee if he does knock the black out, he gets on the pink. I think perhaps from where he was, may have been the wrong decision. Good safety.
Joe Perry. 34.
Well, a very exciting conclusion to this session. Is it going to be 5-3 or is it going to be 4-all? Well played there, nicely played.
Going back to that shot Joe played, I don't know, it's a tough one. He was obviously, if he pots the blue, leave himself the pink, he's then got a difficult shot in the black. Perhaps it's 6 of one, half and a dozen of the other. Side to side safety. He's called it a bit thick, but he's okay. I think he's okay. Yeah, that's a lot more difficult than it looks on our TV screen. Doubt very much if Mark will be going for this. Oh. It's tough.
He's gone for the double. He's got
treble.
Is it a treble?
No.
Oh. He took the double on because the black was safe, and he finished up with a treble. What a bit of good fortune that is. And Mark Allen, with that fluke on the pink, goes in, leading 5 frames to 3.
That pink, eh? Still plenty of hope for Joe Perry, though.
Oh, listen, it's only the first session, and in a perfect world, yes, you'd love to be in front, as Mark Allen is, but there's a long way to go in that match.
But Mark has played the better snooker, hasn't he?
Yes, he was very fortunate to fluke the pink at the end there. He played the double, got the treble, but Joe Perry's in very good form and he's playing well enough to come back and win this match. Fascinating match.
Yeah, absolutely. OK, quick look ahead at what's coming up for you this evening. Judd Trump completes his first round match against Chris Wakelin tonight. That's live on the Red Button, BBC Sport website and app. You can also use your TV and device to watch the second round match between Barry Hawkins and the man who knocked out Marco Fu, Leo Haushen. And all the day's top stories covered in the highlights show with Hazel at 11:15 tonight. So that's you sorted for this evening. My thanks to John Parrott and to Peter Ebdon. Really good to see you, boys. Thank you very much indeed. So it's not Ryan's day, and Mark Allen has the lead over Joe Perry at the start of his second round match. Thank you very much indeed for watching. We shall see you later. Bye for now.